I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Pistoling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Home. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos. Okay.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. What's good? I soon will be joined by Hoodie Kev. Hoodie Kev is gloating right now, which I can't blame him. I bet you he is ready to go on what is called a rampage because people said all year that Reggie Bullock is in the lineup for defense, and Reggie Bullock didn't even get a sniff at all NBA defense of anything. And Hoodie Kev is ready to go on a rampage, and I can't say that I blame him. I can't say that I blame him. All year long, all we heard was Reggie Bullock is in the lineup for a certain thing. And I can't blame him, to be honest with you. What's good, everybody? What's good? How y'all doing today? What's good? Wilson Ding, what's good? Andre Bryant, what's good? Quiet Money is in the building. Yo Elvis Hoops, what's good? Chris Chang, my brother from another mother, what's good? What's good? Rafael Diaz, what's good? I see you. Rafael on Twitter, blowing up Twitter, what's good? What's happening? I see y'all. Swaggy OG is in the building. Felipe 210, what's good? It's good to see y'all, man. It's good to be back on. You know what I'm saying? This little short hiatus. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure some things out, some scheduling things had us backed up crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we here now. So Julius Randle makes second team All NBA. That means so the Swaggy OG says, Uncle Freezy, you can't cap, but Reggie Bullock defense kinda overrated. Been telling y'all that, man. So Julius Randle is a top 10 player. That's what All NBA means. Julius Randle made the squad. Julius Randle top 10. What's good? This season, Julius Randle was a top 10 player. Julius Randle is second team All defense, All NBA. What's good? Tell me what y'all think about that. Julius Randle is top 10 All NBA. Tell me what y'all think. Hoodie Kev will be here in a few moments. He is cooking peanut butter and jelly or something. Hoodie Kev is cooking peanut butter and jelly or something like that he's making. Yeah, Julius Randle make a second team All NBA. I for sure thought he'd be third, but second team is kind of impressive. Second team All NBA is kind of impressive. You got to give that man credit. You got to give him credit. Chris Chang says regular season, yeah, facts, but he was different person and the brightness of the lights blinded. Well, I say partly that and partly that his supporting cast was garbage. I say partly that and partly that his supporting cast was garbage. Chuck Allen, Nick for life was good. Juju 92 was good. Juju 92 says his eyes is on the bag right now. Hey, can you blame him? What would your eyes be on right now? If you're Julius Randle, what would your eyes be on right now? Like you can't blame him. Man, I see. Man, shout out to the chat. It's the usual suspects in the building. It's good to see all of y'all. What's good? What's good? What's good? Juju 92 says 30 mil a year. Wow, that's a lot of money. Wow, that is a lot of money. But you got to pay what you got to pay, right? You got to pay what you got to pay. Wow. Yeah, you got to pay what you got to pay. So I'm waiting on my guy Hoodie Cab to show up. Right, this is gonna be the Hoodie Cab show tonight. Y'all know this. Y'all know this already. Cause Reggie Bullock didn't get a sniff at all NBA defense, and Julius Randle did. I don't think that gets it done, bro. Hey, I'm sorry, can y'all hear me? Good, good, good. Yeah, I don't think that get it done at all. Hey, thanks, Quiet Money. Okay. I'm trying to work out the sound. Yo, Forbes is still in the building. What's good? I'm trying to work out the sound, man. I'm using my phone, so I apologize for that. Felipe 210 says if Randall signs an extension this summer, his max is 4 years, 106. I don't know. I don't know if he signs that, bro. I don't think that's enough. Because that's basically 26 mil a year. Basically. Do you sign that if you Randall? If you Randall, do you sign that? If you the Knicks, do you feel comfortable offering that? Hey, salute cuts, Knicks, cuts, kicks, and Knicks. What's good? Andre Bryant, what's good? Randall would be crazy to sign 4 years, 106. Yeah. Yeah, you got to pay him about 32 mil. You're right. Eternal Kaleidoscope, what's good? What is good? Good to see you. 4 years, 160? No, 40 mil may be too much for Randall. 40 mil a year, man. That may be too much. If you're asking me, I don't know if I'm ready to do 40 mil a year for Randall. Yeah, that may be too much, man, in my opinion. I'm thinking somewhere in the range of 4 years, 120. Give my man 30 something mil a year, somewhere between 30 and 32. I think it'll be perfect. I think he deserved that from where he bought this franchise in 2 years. You're right, Quiet Money. That's what I'm thinking too, man. Yeah, in that 30 mil range, I think it's good because you have to look at what the Knicks were before they signed Randall and what they are during Randall's tenure, right? What is Randall? What is Randall? What are the Knicks after they signed Randall? You have to give them credit for that, right? What are the Knicks after they signed Julius Randle? Before Julius Randle, we were Mario Hazonia. We were Noah Vonleh. We were Enos Kanter. Um, we were Emmanuel Mudiay. We were a bunch of stuff before Julius Randle, right? With Julius Randle, we were a playoff team. Right? Right? Before Julius Randle, we were Emmanuel Mudiay, Mario Hazonia, Terrence Williams, a bunch of stuff. After Julius Randle, or with Julius Randle, we were a playoff team. Hey, Hoodie Cav.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing in Knicks Nation tonight?
Bro, what is that you have on?
Oh, you mean my blue shirt?
Do you have a smoking jacket on?
A smoking jacket? This is my comfortable robe that I got from the Candler Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. It's very plush.
Looks like a smoking jacket.
Hmm. 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 Okay. What have
Are,
I missed so far?
are you sipping cognac and smoking cigars right now?
Man, that sounds like something I would do if I was in first class on the Titanic.
Okay.
I
All
unfortunately
right.
am not. Of course, I have wanted to pick up smoking cigars because I always felt like that was a distinguished gentlemanly thing to do. No? Huh. Maybe it's just me.
Can we get down to the nitty gritty?
I didn't know what I'd missed so far.
Um, so I talked about Julius Randle making All NBA second team,
Mm-hmm.
and how,
Congratulations.
in theory, how that makes him a top 10 NBA player. In theory,
So,
for
him
this
making a
season,
second team All NBA. You said makes him a top 10 player in the NBA?
yeah, in theory,
In theory.
yep, in theory, it makes him a top 10 NBA player.
Um, the question is, do you truly? Well, no, who am I? I'm asking the wrong person because I already
Oh,
know what the answer is. Yeah, because I already know what the answer is going to be if I put it out there. So, because I was going to say, do you truly believe he's a top 10 player? But then I thought, I'm asking the number one homer in all of Knicks land, and that's saying a lot.
yes.
So, of
That
course,
that
I
I
know what your answer is going to be.
that I appreciate our talent.
All of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's including Alfred Payton.
yeah.
Oh, breakthrough, everyone. Uncle Freezy appreciates Alfred Payton.
Yeah.
I heard it here at 12:50 a.m. on June 16th. Uncle Freezy appreciates Alfred Payton.
Ivy 280 was good. So can we get down to the nitty gritty?
Yeah.
Has Reggie Bullock's production on this team been overrated?
Oh, now we're cooking with gas.
Speaking of Knicks gas, do you want me to contact him? I don't
Oh,
know if he knows that we were on.
definitely not. Let's keep it a secret.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me do something. I'll be right back. I'm getting
That does
contact with
not
Knicks gas.
that does not sound like you're keeping it a secret at all. I literally just said let's keep it a secret and let's not. And he said, hold on, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of what you said. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Quiet money. I tried quiet money. I actually Eternal Kaleidoscope. Hello, good evening. Salute. Yo Elvis, salute to you. Wapple all the time. Salute. Andre Bryant, the new Knicks. Kaiser Sose is in the building. Cuts, Nick Kicks, and Knicks is in the building. Will Salkin. Y'all know I'm not good at the whole roll call thing. It's not me. I'm not I'm not a rah kind of person. I'm just like an angry, loud person. So Oh man. Brooklyn Belly. Good evening. Good evening. Yo, Elvis. So Uncle Freezy wants to talk about how trash Reggie Bullock was this season, how many Knicks fans across the land overhyped everything that was Reggie Bullock, giving him nicknames like R&B and Reggie Bullets and all this other nonsense. Nonsense. Thank you. This is listen. Y'all don't leave my this is when I tell y'all this is a comfortable piece of attire, my robe. Um but back to the meat and potatoes. There's many stats to go off of about Reggie Bullock's defense or lack thereof. Some would say. I have been preaching to the sun came up that he didn't need to start. I think we all knew that he needed to start or not needed to start. You know, you would think that Bullock falls under the category of a prototypical 3-and-D role player. Meaning on offense, Bullock brings the lion's share of his value, of his ability to space the floor from beyond the arc. Some people thought that we were short-handed, but if you look at some of the field goal, 3-point field goal percentages, like I said, the team as a whole didn't shoot that many, but when we did, we tended to shoot pretty well from three. But he was really, for the majority of the season, he was pretty much league average. I think what happened is he hit on probably like a 10 to 12 game stretch where he was playing above the normal for him. Let me pull up his stats from this season. Let's see. He averaged 10.9 points, 44% from field goal, 41% from three, 90% from free throw. It took like 5 probably. So he put like 0.8 a game. So it's not like he was getting to the free throw line a lot. 52% from 2 on 2.5 twos a game. So, that's Reggie Bullock's numbers. I didn't want to deceive Eternal Kaleidoscope. I agree with you. And Wilson Dang, I'm going to get to that point because the price is what is. The price is the problem. And people say, oh, he's good for what we paid for him. Yeah, and that's the thing. I've said this time and time again. If you want to be a true champion, you have to spend money. You're not going to be in the bottom quarter of the league in salary and really truly expect to win a championship. But he was in the I'm gonna say like the 46th percentile among wings and 3-point percentage. But yeah, like I said, he had a stretch where he was shooting really, really, really well. And it was over the course of that 9-game winning streak that we had where he kind of upped his average and then upped all his percentages. But if you take that chunk out, in totality, really, Reggie Bullock, he was inadequate, albeit underwhelming as a floor spacer for the Knicks in its totality. If he made up for his streaky shooting by contributing to the offense and other facets, which I don't know how, because he can't dribble more than 3 dribbles. Do we got to bring up that infamous travel against the Atlanta Hawks? I saw that replay. It was on Twitter earlier today, and I am not 100% certain what he was even. I just got to shake my head at that. But Bullock is really often a sitting duck out there for the Knicks. There's been far too many instances in which Bullock's played an exorbitant amount of minutes, yet accumulated zeros across the board. Let me repeat that again. I saw a playoff game, not a regular season game, a playoff game against the Atlanta Hawks, where Reggie Bullock played 36 minutes, 0 points. 0 amounts of points. Listen. I don't like the fact that we have only 32 people watching. Maybe that, people didn't know they were coming on. It's very last minute. We need to get the word out and get them likes up. All right. So, for one, also, let's get this. Bullock is not a difference maker and when it comes to playmaking, right? Which is funny because people want to sit here and they want to say, oh, Kevin Knox doesn't create his own shot. He doesn't create anything for other people. But you want to gloss over all that Reggie Bullock does 0 amounts for 0 amounts of playmaking. Zip. Nada. How many assists did Reggie Bullock average this season? 1.5. That's literally 1 more than I thought he would have averaged. Don't even know where that came from. No clue. So, it seems like everyone is so fascinated about my robe. Listen. I'm going to leave my robe alone. It's as comfortable, it's plush. I'm very comfortable right now. I wish I had a glass of sweet tea. Anyways, Sports Vibes TV, my nemesis. How are you doing this evening, Sports Vibes? So happy to see you. Back on the platform. CS Hoops, are you new to the family or to this platform? I haven't seen you before. Maybe I have. It's probably, like I said, this is City for Real's job when it comes to the shout out to the chat. He's the point guard. I'm the scorer. I'm Kobe Bryant. Okay, I'm getting the rock. And I'm scoring with it. Right now, I got to do a dual thing. So I got to go with what I need to go with, and still kind of pay attention to what y'all are talking about in the chat. Other than y'all leave my Hugh Hefner robe alone. Okay, it's very comfortable. So anyways, back to Reggie Bullock and his lack of whatever he wants to bring. Right? What was that? Other than the fact that he can't dribble. And have you realized it's very uncomfortable looking at Reggie Bullock when he picks up his dribble for more than a second too? He's 30 years old. He's coming off major neck and back injuries. For everyone who's thinking they're going to bring Reggie Bullock back, even on the bench row, I still wouldn't do it. Still wouldn't. a big part of the Knicks' offense's stagnation has really, really been a staple of the Knicks' offense stagnation. Shooting a ton of bricks. And Bullock's skill sets or lack thereof provide no aid towards resolving the pertinent issues haunting the team. His presence on the floor further limits the number of shot creators on the Knicks team, already bereft of this all-important attribute. Right? Additionally, while most of Bullock's field goal attempts have come from behind the three-point line, which, behind is a lot, he really, rarely takes twos. Rarely takes twos. He has taken a few, but has been really, really inefficient. He's struggling in the paint where he's only shooting 54%. 54% from point blank. And when you take into account the infrequent amount of tips at the rim, it is very apparent he's bad. Like, how do you shoot 54% at the rim and yet you don't get to the rim a lot? What does that even say? What does that say, Knicks fans? I appreciate that, CS Hoops. Let me do something here. I would love to, I was talking to my sports vibes via Twitter. I had sent him some interesting articles, information about the future small forward of the New York Knicks, also the current small forward of the New York Knicks, either or. But he has an unreliable handle. He can't finish at the rim. He lacks a burst to weave himself in the driving lanes in the first place. He usually gets stuck. Has to pass it out. At this stage of his career, we know what Reggie Bullock is. He's not going to get any better, like, at all. He's an okay spot-up shooter and really not much more. And he's really, really, really hindering the scoring potential of the starting five, which is where I think Kevin Knox will come in next season and probably average at least 13 to 16 points next season. You heard it here first on Knicks at Night, Blorange Tears. And when it happens, I want all of y'all to come and say, Hoodie Kev, we're sorry. Here's your flowers. Now, let's get to him as a defender. Reggie Bullock, who was the Knicks' best perimeter defender or best defender this season, got 0, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 0 votes for any all-defensive team. Considering reputations carry a lot of weight in the NBA, perhaps too much weight sometimes. Too much weight. There's countless instances of players receiving contracts for past accomplishments when in reality, they aren't even who they were. A prime example is Reggie Bullock and his very big noticeable drop-off in defensive effectiveness compared to his prior years, even going back to his Detroit years a couple years ago. I'll give it that when he was with the Pistons, he was probably universally considered an above average, maybe to an elite on-ball defender. That was like 2-3 years ago. Right? Right. Let me look at something right quick. So back in Detroit, all right, back in Detroit. And this is a key thing. The 2020-21 season, Reggie Bullock had a foul percentage of 3.8, which is 23rd in the league. The only player on the Knicks who fouled more than Reggie Bullock was Emmanuel Quickley. Think about that. Our best on-ball defender, and he fouled more than anyone on the team who wasn't a rookie. You can say, oh, it's because he's always guarding the team's best player, and blah, 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 blah. Reggie Bullock, oh, I love him so much. Is that what we're doing? Let's see, him fouling at a well above league average rate while providing minimal assistance in the steals department because he gets no steals. He's not even a game changer. He's no better than average defensively. He'll get caught up in these flash plays or something where he just harasses someone and makes them, I guess you want to say, oh, he makes them work hard for his. I know he got 30 points, but he had to work really, really hard for it. 30 points is 30 points. And I know it's easy to get caught up in reputation and assume that he's still a prolific defender because the Knicks have excelled as a unit and whole. But in reality, he hasn't had much to do with the team's success in preventing scores. You know, and this sounds crazy to say as everyone said that Reggie Bullock, who's the best team defender, hasn't had the same exact impact that a lot of people think that he's had. Right? But he's 6'7", he's probably 195. He can get bullied around. You know, he's not really quick. He picks up a lot of fouls. His offensive game is extraordinarily limited. He's not an NBA starter, right? We all know this. And Wilson Dang, I'm not saying that Kevin Knox is going to be the saving grace for the team. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is there's statistical data that I have pointed to all season long. And the NBA voters know this because Reggie Bullock has yet to get he did not get any votes whatsoever on any of the. Julius Randle got 4 votes for crying out loud. Julius Randle got 4 votes, and Reggie Bullock got 0. The same amount of points he had in Game 3 against the Atlanta Hawks. City for real, that's you?
Yo, what's good? Yeah, what's good, everybody? What's going on?
Sitting over here talking about how bad Reggie Bullock is.
Uh-oh. Maybe I joined the chat at the wrong time.
Listen, I sat here all season
for doing what he did.
What did he do?
Although it wasn't much, but he did he did some things. He did win a couple of games. You know, he did play.
Did your audio go out, City? I think you're freezing up. I think City is freezing up. I'm glad he has a home security system. He probably has like a lot of deer and, hills have eyes type people out there in Idaho. But City has frozen. Oh, wait. Nope. He's coming in. No, he's not. GXW Classic. Is it wrong for believing that a 21-year-old first round top 10 pick who has all of the talent in the world can take that next step and provide what Reggie Bullock does? Absolutely. It's not even far-fetched to even believe that.
What's good, Kev?
The young Padawan Hadouken Sharon. How are you doing? Long time.
I'm chilling. How about you?
What's good? Here, talking about Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, I know. I heard. Why he said someone in the chat said Hadouken, please roast Huddy Kev. I don't have anything to roast. I would like that to happen too next season, to be honest.
Like what?
For them to give Kev a shot at starting small forward, because I really don't think we're getting anyone.
We're not getting anyone. City, you there? Not City, Freezy.
What's good, Delano?
What's poppin'? What's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute Kev. Salute to Duke and Sharon. What's going on?
What's good?
Listen, I know that you were such a fan of Reggie Bullock and want to talk about him all night. But the travesty is really that Nerlens Noel only got one vote. The only player this season to average at least one block and one steal got one vote.
Yeah,
explain that to me.
Yeah, I didn't.
Top three in blocks. Career high in blocks. One vote.
Yes, one vote.
Yeah, I didn't even know he got one vote. I didn't even look at the voting for that stuff. I just looked at the teams and didn't see Noel.
My only question is how?
Well, they probably looked at him as I don't know if he
Someone got something in the background.
See how you're befuddled? See how you
I don't know. I mean, like I said, maybe he just didn't qualify in minutes, or they looked at him as a backup, or looked at him as you get a lot of blocks, but
time out. Hold on. Let me add this caveat to you. Jordan Clarkson was voted 6th man of the year, was he not?
Yeah, he was.
Now, didn't he play over 30 games as a starter when Donovan Mitchell went down?
No, I don't think that's the I definitely don't think that's the reason why it happened.
But I'm saying he did play in a starting role, did he not?
Yeah, he should have won. I mean, he deservedly won that award though.
He won the no. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but I'm adding the conversation. If you're gonna sit here and say that the reason that you add, okay, maybe because he didn't play enough minutes as a starter, or maybe he didn't play enough minutes, or whatever the case may be. Well, let me add this to you: a starter can't be a 6th man, right?
But he wasn't labeled as a starter. Just because you start does not mean that you are. It's like if you have spot starts because of health, that doesn't make you a starter. Because once the person comes back, you go back to the bench.
Well, isn't that even more reason that you should consider a player that doesn't play a lot of minutes had that much of an impact to where the guys that do start, like a Miles Turner and a Rudy Gobert, who won Defensive Player of the Year.
So let me ask you this question, right? There's 3 centers that were voted. Is he a better defensive center than Rudy Gobert, who won Defensive Player? He won Defensive Player of the Year, so clearly he's not.
Statistically this year, yeah. Again, I say the only player, not even center, the only player to average at least 1 block and 1 steal. So even if you want to say he got more blocks than he did, he didn't get more steals than he did.
So let me get this straight. You're saying, and I want to be clear that Nerlens Noel was better than the newly awarded Defensive Player of the Year.
This season, yes.
So they just give the Defensive Player of the Year award to anybody. Like, here you go, random person we need to pick out of a hat.
I didn't say they gave it to anybody, but I am saying that this year he was better.
Nah, he wasn't.
He really was not better than Rudy Gobert.
If you look at them, besides those blocks at the rim, if you just look at his defense in general against everyone.
Because just because you get a lot of blocks doesn't make your defense as a whole takes into account, right? Not because you get blocks, not because you get a steal, but your defense as a whole. Like, can you change the entire game, every possession defensively, like Rudy Gobert does? No, Nerlens Noel does not do that. Because one-on-one defense, Nerlens Noel is awful.
Well, that would probably be the case if he didn't have to carry having to guard his man and Randle's guy, since that's the kind of situation that's been happening.
So Rudy Gobert doesn't do the same thing?
How many times? No, he doesn't. What does he have to do that for? Isn't Royce O'Neal top 4 in defensive efficiency?
Are you serious
Is Royce again? Am I making this up? Is he not top 4 in defensive deficiency right now? Isn't that what they were saying?
Julius Randle got more votes. Hold on, Julius Randle got more votes for defensive all defensive teams than Nerlens Noel. So clearly, Julius Randle had to help Nerlens Noel, man.
Oh, he did, huh? Okay. That's why he got. That's why he had all those. That's why players like Cam Johnson had all those wide open 3-pointers when we lost that game. Is that why Tobias Harris had all those wide open shots when we lost those games? Again, I'm just trying to understand the conversation here. We're sitting here talking about Nerlens Noel like he's an afterthought, and I'm looking at the fact that this guy, once again, averaged 1 block and 1 steal.
You think he's better? I want everyone to realize that Delano still thinks that Nerlens Noel is better than the guy.
Don't try to make it seem like I'm doing this just because one season he's better. One season he was better.
This season when Rudy Gobert again won Defensive
Player
of the Year.
Last season, Rudy Gobert, hands down, was a better defender. This year, I can't give him that. Sorry.
The voters just gave him Defensive Player of the Year. That means you are the best defender in the NBA.
So the voters get it right. So the voters get it right all the time, right? The voters get it right all the time, right?
They literally just
the voters get it right all the time. The voters get it right all the time.
Defender in the entire NBA.
Is that what I said?
You said Nerlens Noel. Yes, I asked you. Hold on. I legit asked you that point blank, and you said yes. Rewind the tape.
This season, what did I say? This season, he was a better defender. Did I not say that? This season.
It doesn't matter.
What that don't matter?
The 94 season, the inaugural NBA season.
There you go doing
Look
Shaq
at the other
stuff,
players
trying to
on
move
the
the
teams. He
goalpost.
was not.
There goes Shaq. There you go doing Shaq stuff, trying to move the goalpost.
No,
I said this season.
I asked
this is why I always.
No,
this season,
there's no way you're trying to compare Noel to Gobert's defense. That's just.
This season was he not? This season he was better.
No, he wasn't.
I'm not saying every season.
He wasn't better than Matisse Thybulle. He wasn't better than Ben Simmons. He wasn't better than. Let me see who else was there.
Oh Lord.
Then Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi. I think he should have gotten votes. I don't
Just
think
the centers
I think
alone.
Julius Randle should not have gotten any votes for defensive player. I don't know how he even got any votes. That's crazy to me. I have no idea how he got any votes. Those votes should have been given to Noel, but I don't know. This is a tough teams to get into for Noel. So I don't know where you get that Gobert did not play better defense than him. That just makes no sense to me.
Good Lord. Delano, I'm with you on a lot of stuff. Delano. But you just said Nerlens Noel was a better defender
This season, I felt like it was.
than
This season,
the guy who's won 3 out of the last 4, including this past season's Defensive Player of the Year.
Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying he's not a great defender. I'm saying
we know, but that's not what we're saying. We're saying that he is not a better defender than Gobert.
And that's fine. Again, we can agree to disagree. This is why we have this conversation. This is why we're bringing these type of things to the.
I think you're the only person that thinks that, though. I have not heard a single person in the world say that.
Hey, listen, that is fine, because I'm sure that there's only one person right now on the panel that believes that Kevin Knox should start next season because he's the savior of the team.
Who said he's a savior? Who said Kevin Knox is a savior?
How many times have you said that?
I've never said he's a savior.
You said it on the couple. You said it a couple of times. I've never held it on you because I felt like that was an emotional.
I have never came out of my mouth and said Kevin Knox is the savior. You've never heard me on any platform ever say that.
As a matter of fact, you said that you can see the future and you believe that him and R.J. Barrett together with Julius Randle.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that either. Don't say that. I didn't say that.
Wow. Okay, you know what?
Said he hopes. Yeah. He hopes.
No, I didn't say anything about Julius Randle. Julius Randle is not in the future plans for me. So you have never heard me say that you've never heard me say that.
Okay, so
I've never included Julius Randle. You might have heard me say Obi Toppin.
Included Randle, but I know for sure you've included Randle. I mean, not Randle. Knox,
RJ and Knox.
Yes, that's
I got to pull up the picture.
And I say it all the time. Again, that's an emotion. That's an emotional take, because at the end of the day, Kevin Knox has not shown anything to the contrary. But I allow you to have that point because at the end of the day, you believe that strongly in it.
You see it.
I see that.
You see the future.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
The future is so weird and uncanny. He even already has the box like Pippen.
Maybe in the summer league. I don't know. Maybe in the summer league he'll do that.
Listen, I'm taking all the receipts. So Delano, let me write Delano still. What's this? July 16th receipt. I'm gonna store this in my robe so I can keep it.
All right, make sure you stand handy with it.
Are we still showing that?
So for one, it's not July 16th.
June 16th.
June 16th. And the fact that you're putting it in a robe
June 16th
is creepy.
Yeah, and are we still showing that? That picture again?
The picture will never go away.
Hey, we got any hackers out there that can get into his phone and delete that?
Again,
that's already saved on the web in general.
It's actually already, yes, it is on the internet. It's everywhere.
But we can still delete it from his.
If I had Tom Thibodeau's email, I would send it to him personally. You better be glad I don't have it. If I like Tibbs 63 or something.
Yo,
he probably has like a Yahoo account.
Can y'all hear me good? Am I good now? Or is my joint still freezing up?
You're all right. I'll be right back though. I gotta go check on my food.
Yo, the real DSJ was good, bro.
It was popping, bro. How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. Shout out to my guy down there, Hadouken. Shout out to Uncle Freezy for doing the thing, keeping us lit, keeping us rocking. You already know.
Yeah,
yo, shout out to the chat, man. All the chat family that be coming in here showing us love, man. We appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what it do. We
As
appreciate
long as
all of
listen,
y'all.
I'm just glad that we're able to get off the Reggie Bullock conversation because that was OD too much. Like, come on, okay. Again, I understand you don't like the guy. A lot of us don't. We don't like the fact that he only plays a half the game. But come on, man, like, offer him already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so let's not even bring it up.
Hey, did y'all see the game tonight though?
Oh,
The
which game?
Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets game.
Oh yeah, yo, I caught like the last 4 minutes, I think.
Okay, did Harden play at all, or did he play?
He was in there when I was watching. I don't know when they put him in.
Okay.
I don't even know his stat numbers or nothing like that. I couldn't even tell you.
Just I'm gonna be honest with you. Like for me, I mean, again, I'm just a
Salute,
fan
Rob.
of basketball, so I mean, I'm not. It's like I have to. I kind of feel like I have to watch the game to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But oh man, Milwaukee's such a letdown, man. They're like one of those regular season teams that never seem to pull out these W's when they need it, man.
Mm-hmm.
They just had the best player cook them, because that's the best
Yeah.
player in the NBA right now, KD. So they can't really do much. And Giannis doesn't even want to guard him. Now Giannis finally said that he's going to guard him.
Well, Giannis better
Hey,
do
way to
something
step up to the
because
plate.
that's what they paid him the big bucks for. That's what Supermax is for.
Facts.
Hey, salute, Rob. What's going on?
What's good? What's
What's
good?
good, Rob?
What's up? What's up? Yeah, I just don't like, man, when you just can't hit free throws down in the clutch, man. It just makes you game like not count.
Yeah.
And that's what Giannis do, man. You just can't be missing no free throws, man. That's just sickening. It's just sickening that you just let the game slip away like that because of your free throw shooting. But I think PJ Tucker was doing an all right job on him until tonight when they put him in foul trouble a little bit. But on the series, PJ Tucker was doing the job on Durant.
What did I miss?
Nothing much.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing, bro.
If he is Delano still talking about Nerlens Noel is better than Rudy Gobert?
Oh my goodness, there you go.
No, nobody.
What did I say?
I think
hold
we need to get a breathalyzer.
Hold on, time out. What did I say exactly?
Nerlens Noel is better than Rudy Gobert.
Don't just throw it out there like that. What did I say
his
exactly?
defense is better than Gobert.
You said he's a better defender than the guy who just won.
You said that Nerlens Noel's defense is better than that's what I said.
This season, in which Rudy Gobert still won Defensive Player of the Year, Nerlens Noel is better though.
Duke and Sharon, you just said it, right? What did I say? This season, right?
He said the same exact thing.
Exactly.
No, but he didn't say that. He said
yes,
that
he said that this season Nerlens Noel is a better defender than Gobert, but he's not.
It matters. No, it matters because
won Defensive
it matters
Player of
because
the Year.
I gave Rudy Gobert all props last season. Did I not sit there and say last season, hands down, he should have got it. There was nobody better.
But we're talking about this season, so
right.
So let me ask you one question. This season, the 2020-2021 season, who has just been named Defensive Player of the Year?
Rudy Gobert was.
And yet, Nerlens Noel, and to you, Nerlens Noel had a better defensive year than the guy who was just awarded Defensive Player of the Year.
Again, yeah, I said that. Individually, he had a better defensive season.
But
hey,
how?
Robin Nick, how you doing?
Only to it. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how.
End of the day,
I don't know. I don't know how that's.
The fact of the matter is, I feel like again, you got a guy who helped first off again career high in blocks, right? only player, and I keep saying the same stat, the only player, not even center, the only player to average 1 block and 1 steal. Gobert didn't even do that.
All right, but he had
Right?
2.7 blocks and
So
0.6
because you
steal.
get
It's not
one
that
block and
crazy of
one
a
steal
difference.
means you're the greatest defender ever?
That doesn't.
Wait,
It's not.
wait a minute.
No, the
Why
thing
did
is,
I?
it's not.
That's
It's
not
not.
what I said.
Yeah,
See
but
what I'm
it's
saying,
not.
Rob?
You.
Does
It's
that
not
sound like
all
I
in
said
the.
he's the
It's
greatest
not all in the
defender
stat
ever, or
sheet.
did I just sit here and
Because you
say
make it seem
this
like that's
one
the rarest,
season?
that's the greatest feat ever.
I did.
He got 1 block and 1
Yeah,
steal.
it's not.
I
Oh
said
You
this
can't
man,
use
season.
watch
the
out.
stat
This
sheet. Doesn't
season,
just say he's
Hall
better.
of
You
the
gotta
Fame,
only
look
here he
at
player.
bullets
comes.
in general. He
He
does
the
not play
modern
better
day
than.
Oh,
Rodman.
here we go.
He can't even. Yeah, he no. I don't think we should even argue this anymore.
All right,
It's not an argument.
listen. If y'all want to get off of that, cool with me too. But at the end of the day, y'all ain't gonna change my mind, and I don't expect to change y'all minds. I felt like he had a better defensive season this year than Gobert did.
So do you think moving forward,
The
Nerlens Noel
same.
should be the starting center for the New York Knicks moving forward?
No, I think that well, unfortunately, had to deal with the fact that Nerlens Noel played in front of Mitch because of Mitch's injury. A lot of people feel like we should move on from Mitch. I don't feel we should move on from Mitch.
But you're
So,
talking.
and the end of the
So
day, I mean, whatever I feel, at the end of the day, whatever I feel in regards to Nerlens Noel, I salute in his defense, but I'm also looking at the fact that throughout all of this conversation, the way we started this whole thing off was how do you give somebody of that type of stat 1 vote? And what has Julius Randle done that surpassed that? In any statistical category, what has he done? Did he get more blocks than
defensive statistical cat? Are
Someone,
you talking?
someone in the chat said that he held power forwards to the lowest percentage or something like that. But I still don't think he should have deserved the vote because he does not. He doesn't play defense like that. Yeah, I don't know. Those votes could have went to Noel instead of Randall because I
and
guess
that's all
that.
I was trying to say in that regard. And
I
again,
just
like I said,
I'm trying to understand this logic, right? Logically, we have a center who plays better defense than the guy who won the Defensive Player of the Year award, but you don't want to re-sign him.
I didn't say I didn't want to
But
resign him.
Utah gave the guy who won Defensive Player of the Year $200 million.
I didn't say I didn't want to resign him. I said you asked me if
I
I wanted
said,
to start him. No,
yes.
you asked if I wanted to start him, not re-sign him.
Do you
If
want
we're
to?
talking
Okay,
re-sign
a
him,
guy.
the answer is yes.
So, guy, should he start? Should Nerlens Noel be the starting center for the New York Knicks?
I think Mitch should be the starter still. I think Nerlens Noel should come off the bench.
You can't bench a guy who's better than Rudy Gobert.
The same way I feel like Derrick Rose should come off the bench if we re-sign him. He was better than Elfrid Payton, was he not? But he was better served coming off the bench. The same way when San Antonio had Manu Ginobili, he could have started over all those shooting guards that was in front of him, but he was better coming off the bench. There was nothing wrong with him coming in as a sixth man. Feel however you want to feel about that. But at the end of the day, we're playing chess, not checkers. Sometimes your best player doesn't have to be in the starting lineup. If it was up to you, Kevin Knox would be this better player out of Reggie Bullock and Alec Burks, and he would have gotten minutes, right? And he would have played in front of those guys.
I'm not worried about that. Here's my thing. It's not a stretch me saying Kevin Knox is better than Reggie Bullock, right? That's not a stretch. What's a stretch is saying Nerlens Noel is better than Rudy Gobert. That's a stretch.
It's a stretch. It's a stretch when you got a coach
Kevin
that
Knox
sat here and
is
said,
better
I'd
than
rather play a shooting guard over a small forward in a small forward role. Yeah, it's a stretch.
I mean, have we seen that done before in history?
Yeah, we actually have seen it done this season.
A lot of times.
Because at the end of the day, your guy, Reggie Bullock, was hurt. Alec Burks at a time when Alec Burks was hurt as well. And as opposed to sitting here saying, let's start Kevin Knox, nah, let's go ahead and put R.J. Barrett in that starting small forward spot.
Yes,
Let's
that
go
happened.
ahead and get Frank Ntilikina to play back up to that. We ain't got Kevin Knox on the team, so clearly, Tibbs don't feel the same way you do.
Yo, who was second in the league on that defensive rating for defensive player of the year?
I mean, it was just the first team was Giannis, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Drew Holiday, and Ben Simmons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the second was Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Kawhi, and Matisse Thybulle.
So do y'all feel like any one of those guys that or matter of fact, Hadouken, any one of those guys that you just named, do y'all feel like they could have been the defensive player of the year instead of Rudy Gobert?
No, I think he deserved it.
You think so?
Him or Ben Simmons could have won it either or. It didn't really
See,
matter who.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, because they were the finalists. It was him, Draymond, and Ben Simmons as the finalists.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
what
Rudy
I'm saying.
Gobert
You
did
could
play
have gave
really good
it.
defense this year.
Yeah, but you could have gave it to any one of those guys, and nobody would have been mad about it. Or maybe some fans would have been mad about it. But at the end of the day, any one of those guys could have won it. So we can't sit here and act like Rudy was just the top-notch overall pick to win it.
I mean, him and Ben Simmons were kind of landslides to win it, but that comparison is just like, yeah, I don't know about that. We can move on to a different topic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know what you guys already talked about because I wasn't here before. Because that's what
No,
I
I
came
wasn't.
into.
Well, I was here, but then I froze, and then I was here, and then I froze again, and now I'm back, and I don't know if I'm gonna freeze again, but I'm here, so you never know.
Did you talk about the All NBA teams, Kev?
I don't know.
Did they call him out yet?
Yeah, Randall got on the second team.
Oh, I had a feeling he was.
Yeah, I felt like there was no way he wasn't getting second team. I wasn't surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He
'cause
could have inked in the first. Who was on the first?
let me go back to it. The first was Curry, Kawhi, Jokic, Giannis, and Luka.
Yeah.
I think there was no way he would have made first, but I think second was a lock for him.
Yeah, second is good.
Yeah, because
they got three teams, right?
Yeah, they got 3.
Yeah, so yeah, second is good. Top 10.
I was surprised that Jason Tatum didn't make it.
Yeah, but he had the COVID, he was out, and then he started coming on at the end of the year.
But they put LeBron in it, which is crazy. Nah, he didn't make any team.
He didn't even make third team, did he? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now the team because it's weird because I don't know, they didn't put wait, I have it here. All right, so they have on the second team they had Dame, Embiid, Chris Paul, Randall, and then they had LeBron. I don't know, like LeBron barely played to even be on the team, but they had to put LeBron somewhere.
Yeah.
Then they had Gobert in the third, Jimmy Butler, PG, Bradley Beal, and Kyrie.
I don't know about Kyrie on that team while he was in and out on different reasons.
Yeah, I think they mainly had that because he had a 50, 40, 90 or a 50, 50, 90 season. He had like a really good season. But yeah, there was probably 2 snubs, something like that.
Yeah, but Randall in that second, that's well deserved.
Yeah, I don't think there was no way he should have been put in third or first. Like that's like the perfect right in between.
Mm-hmm.
That tier right there.
And what the guy was saying in the who it was what's his name? The guy from the Bleaker Report. Talking about Randall was top 55. That guy was telling him, man, you crazy. He gonna make the all NBA team. How you saying he top 55 in the league? He's top 10 in the league this year. And that was like pretty much guaranteed. the season he had.
Say that again. I had to get something for a second.
No, I said I was just saying that the guy, what's his name, Bruker. He was saying that. The guy on the Bleaker Report. He used to.
Bleacher Report.
Yeah, he used to be on ESPN. Rick Bruker. Yeah, I think that was. Oh, he was saying like not really early near the year, but he was on Kiki and Tyranny, and the guy was got in an argument. He was saying, "How you gonna say Randle top 55?" He said he's having a top 10 season. He's like, "Oh well, but I'll be watching this Knicks." No, you haven't. You haven't been watching the Knicks, and the guy told him that. So then now that he's on the second team, the guy was right all along. Because I kind of agreed. I had him like second team, but would have been surprising to the first team, but I can honestly say I can see him on the second team.
Yeah, the first team would have been like I don't know, the first team would have been like
who they put on the first team in front of him?
They put, let me see again. They put Giannis, Luka, Curry, Jokic, and Kawhi.
Okay. Yeah, but you know what? Look, he came around at the end, but his season wasn't what it was the year before. So if Randle would have got in front of him, it would have been surprising, but not really that surprising.
He
but it would have been like
kind of a similar season to last year.
Yeah.
He just shot more efficiently. It's mainly because probably that I don't know, because Porzingis was injured so much during the season, he was playing crazy and got them in the playoffs. So that's most likely why.
But look at what Randle did. The playoffs.
No, but I'm saying that's probably why, because he averaged 28 points.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Triple-double.
Yeah, you can pretty much, but with Randle having more wins, if it's counted on wins too, you could have really just said, okay, yeah, Randle a 4th seed versus what y'all got in around the 7th. So, okay, he did more for the team than you did for yours. And you had Porzingis, and he didn't have a good, RJ coming along, though. But, you had an all-star on your team.
No, but he barely played. That's probably the reason. He was injured for a good amount. But I think the closest person who, if they did somehow put him on the first, I think it would have been Kawhi.
Right. Which, makes sense. But,
Kawhi,
JJ Riley. Can I answer something? JJ Riley, do we keep Julius Randle? Yes, we do. Why wouldn't we keep
it depends.
Julius Randle? Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you trade in him.
No, that's a fair question, though.
Or whatever. But, no, I feel like we should keep him because the man has been getting better every year, and that is a fact. And shout out to Long Island Sound One. Shout out to Nichelle.
I think everyone has mixed feelings on Randle and his situation. Because to me, it's still more political for me. But I don't know. It all depends on what the future holds and what they do in the offseason. To be honest, because I don't really know what we're going to do. I'm just confused what's going to happen.
I think they're going to let him stand pat. And they'll let him stand pat because people act like it's almost impossible for him and Obi to play together. But I could just see, I can honestly see them playing, even if you look, this is the perfect situation. You don't have to really sign Randle right now because you got Obi. And you can wait on his development because after he get year 2 in, then you can make a decision on what you want to do with Randle. Because if he comes up and he starts playing 15 to 20 minutes next year and you start resting Randle,
they need to find a way to do that.
Look, it's not really hard. It's not really hard. They just try to make it look like it's so hard for a player to do that. No, you bring Randle down to 20. You give Randle 29 to 33 minutes a game. You give the rest of the minutes at that position.
I know, but we know he's not going to do that. That's the thing.
But I'm just saying it's not hard.
It definitely isn't.
They can make it. Yeah, because look, the mathematics, and then look, you're resting. You know what I'm saying? You're really resting like that. Then you're more efficient in the fourth quarter. So you can do it any type of way that you want to do it, but you can do it if you want to do it.
Yeah,
Now,
I hope he gets that 15 to 20 minutes.
If you want to look at, because it might come down to Tibbs getting overruled for one reason. Look, we might see what do you have in Obi to make that switch. To say, okay, well, we got this young player right here at this age, right now, cheaper money. We're going to keep him. Now, if we can move Randle for some type of point guard, or all-star caliber point guard, why would you do it if you're going to believe if Kobe shows you what you needs to see? And that's the only reason I can see Randle getting moved, if it came down to something like that. Other than that, I see them, okay, they'll make a decision down the line. Right now, it's no hurry to make. He just finished his first year. So it's really no hurry to make that move now. You just let him play out. You just let it play out. And then you watch the development of Obi. And then you make a conscious decision on what you want to do.
It can be a $200 million decision.
Yeah.
That's a big
decision. It might be. It might be a decision.
Still think no matter what, he's not getting that super max.
Here's the thing. So here's the thing. If you're Julius Randle and you got to be say, oh, you might take a home without a discount. No, that doesn't happen often, if ever. So he's not going to accept the contract extension this year, especially now that he's been voted to second team All NBA, and he's an absolute lot to get the Supermax, which is $206 million.
No, he's not that's not a lock. You have to do that. No, you have to do that at the end of your contract, not during. It has to be the next year.
If Julius Randle is, because he has during his current contract has made an All-Star game and been voted to an All NBA team, is now officially eligible to sign a Supermax contract.
$205 million.
$205 million.
Which either way, I don't think we're giving him that.
Look, and he will look. Nobody's gonna give him $205 million.
Yeah,
that's what the market value says that you get.
Hey, look at it. Well, I don't think a team. Look, the market value was that for Kimba too. Did he get it? Nope.
The Jazz gave Rudy Gobert $210.
Well, we're not talking about Rudy is like a 4-time defensive, and that's part of what they do. That's really part of what they do. That team was built around them playing like that.
Defense, yeah.
So you can see them doing that, and they can keep it moving. But ain't no way. He's not, just because that's the market value, that don't mean you're gonna get it. So he's gonna be put into a position to take a discount anyway. He would have to score. He might have to average 30 a game, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists next year in order for that to happen.
Yeah, he would have to take like a crazy other step to do that.
Yeah,
mainly do it in the playoffs. That's what really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't see him flying around like that. So, we can just leave that 205 off the table because that's not happening.
Yeah, it better not. I don't think there's any way the front office thinks that he should get that.
I mean, even if it's not, you got to make a decision. Also, is
the window matters too.
The decision is Obi ready? Because
you got a whole year. You got a whole year.
You got this last year to figure that out.
It's still a whole year.
No, that's what I'm saying is if you think that Obi is ready by the end of next year, do you go with Obi or do you sign him to at least $170 million?
Well, you do. Then you got all the bargaining power then. You got all the bargaining power.
That, it's gonna be so difficult to trade him. That's why everyone wants to sign him to his max this season. So it's
What you mean?
easier to
What makes you
contract.
think it's going to be difficult to trade him?
I'm talking about not this season. Like if he gets because he's definitely not gonna opt out. He's definitely gonna keep his player option, but or his qualifying offer, whatever it is. But I'm saying that if we don't sign him that this year and he gets his 18 mil, and then next year we give him like 170, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to trade him.
But how you figure that?
Just for I don't know. I don't think Randle is that type of asset that is easy to trade, especially if you give him 170 mil.
Look, I think that it all depends on what his production is. If you got somebody 25, 12, and 7 assists, you can stick that on any team. You can stick that on any team.
Here's the interesting thing. The interesting thing is Julius Randle going to get you 25, 12, and 6 if he played with an all-star point guard? I think those numbers will come. The points and the assists are going to come down.
And that's okay. Long as he's efficient from scoring, you don't really have to do. My thing is this here. You don't really have to do all of that. Chris Paul is showing you don't have to have your power forward really doing all of that. If you got a scoring power forward, let him score. Let somebody else handle the reins. Just let him score. You score and you rebound. That's what it comes down to. Everybody doesn't have to do that. Every team is not built for that particular person to get one to do that. So if you got a point guard, an official point guard, that ball automatically comes out of Randle's hands. He's going to get the ball in scoring positions. That's it. Because that's what you're built for.
Exactly. So that's what I said. He's not going to average what he averaged last season.
Well, if the dynamics to the team change, it's okay. It's okay, long as if the dynamics of the team change, and you get that point guard that you can rely on doing that to everybody else. He can't argue, because it wasn't like that's what he's been doing all along. You fall back.
Is what he's been doing in New York.
Well, but look, we don't have an all-star point guard.
No, we don't.
So you put that in the mix, then he has to fall back to what he is.
Who do you guys think we realistically get this offseason? Or what type of team do you think we're coming back with?
I think we're gonna come back. You might not have Bullock and you're not gonna have both of them.
Yeah, I still think we keep one of them. I don't know. I feel like there's no way we let both.
They're both gone.
I'm telling you, I really feel like they're not both gone.
Burks is definitely gone. Because the thing, Burks is definitely gone.
See, Kev, your thing is you think everybody is running after the money.
That most people do run after the money. 99% of the people run after the money.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
What? Who don't?
Look at the Lakers. Who ran after the money over there?
Reggie, Alec Burks. You do not go sign a 1-year prove it contract.
No, you might not.
Prove it, and then go I want to take another discount.
No, you might get a 2-year deal with a player's option, with a team option.
And if he gets a better deal, I say the Milwaukee Bucks, Alec Burks.
So who they gonna drop?
Who? No matter who they drop. That's saying. If Alec Burks goes over there and they offer him, the full mid-level exception, which is 4 years, $40 million.
I think PJ Tucker's a better fit. They got enough shooters. They was number 1 in the NBA in 3-point shooting. So why they need him?
You can never have too many.
Well, but look, you need defense along that somewhere. I think PJ Tucker's a better fit.
And the only reason PJ Tucker's even playing as much as he is because Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles. He was a starter.
I don't think that
Yeah, but he's not a power
DiVincenzo, when
forward,
it
so
came down to the playoffs, he would have been there.
He was still starting when he
no,
was still
he
starting.
was
I don't
starting,
look
but there's still different positions. One is a
that
power forward, one is a shooting
that
guard.
other guy with the stitches right now that's been playing now. He ain't been
Cunningham,
playing.
Pat
Yeah,
Cunningham.
he ain't been playing, but now he's playing. I think that, like you say, he dropped the 50 ball, but tonight though, but on as long as that series has been playing, PJ Tucker been doing a hell of a job on Durant.
I mean, Durant has still been dropping like almost 30 plus every game.
Yeah, but
He
look, his
has been.
shooting percentage was down.
I'm
He was like something for I seen one game, like he was like, the Durant number ain't like 7 for 20. Durant don't do that.
Let me see.
He had a couple games that PJ Tucker was in his job.
I can't even check this. No, I don't know. He was, but that was one game. He had a tough game, and that was the game Kyrie got injured. That was the game before this one.
Yeah, so look, like I said, Durant, he and every shot was hard. He wasn't blowing by. He was long range. He kept him out. He kept him out of his comfort zones a long time. So, like I said, he's a better fit than Burke over there.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, he dropped 30 plus every game. Still, that's crazy.
Well, but you know what? That's what he's about. That, but long as you're making it uncomfortable for him, and I seen him on a couple of shots that he was uncomfortable. He was looking at the refs crazy. He went to the line a lot too. He probably, I think, on that game right there that he shot like that, he been to the line like 14 times. He did a lot of. No, on that game that when PJ Tucker was on him, he did go to the line a lot.
Oh yeah, he had 10 free throws.
So if he gonna keep on doing that, why he doing the crying to the refs? Okay, he gonna get baskets. But it is what it is. But like I said, bring back one of them. Then you look at, you just got to really look at that on this guard, you got to get the serviceable point guard. You can't play with your point guard this year. If you're gonna get something serviceable,
We still need to try to get one. I don't know how we're getting one. It's like it's so strange, like this offseason, like what's gonna happen. It's so unpredictable.
You know what I'm saying? I see, like, they're gonna have to reach and look at other teams and see what other teams want to do.
They really gotta make a lot of calls saying who's disgruntled, who really is, who really isn't.
Yeah, well, disgruntled comes in your ear. You don't have to call for disgruntled. Disgruntled comes. The player usually tells the rest of the league before they even tell their management.
Quiet Money said, "Who could Randle rely on to pick up some of the slack? You got to keep things in perspective."
What about Conley?
He's a free agent, but I don't know if he'll leave Utah.
Yeah, I think they said that he's interested in staying. Like, very interested, because they got a really good team there. I don't know if he would leave. Like, that's the same. Like, the CP3 situation is confusing to me, but he just wants more money. I don't know if he wants more money.
Yes, more money. It's what? Yeah, CP wants. He want to rip up the $44 million and get a longer deal.
Yeah, but it's also like, I mean, at this stage, like, he's made a lot of money, but like, why wouldn't he want to stay with the Suns? Like, that's the only.
It doesn't mean that he's gonna leave the Suns. The Suns can just give him more money.
Yeah.
I think
that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but they might be able to give him more money, but then they got a lot of people up the bat right behind him.
Yeah, that's like the last thing CP3 really has to do is get a chip. That's all he's been making money. Like,
well, I think if he see if they get the chip this year, see CP3 looking at his career like this here, wherever he goes from that point guard situation, if you need a point guard, he gonna make your team better. He knows that going in. From what he did to Oklahoma when everybody thought he was dead in the water, and then he came back, and then right now he just took it over there to Phoenix and got them making key possessions down the stretch. That's what it comes down to. You got to make key possessions. Somebody on your team got to be making key possessions down the stretch, and he provides that. Even if it's just a missed shot, it's not nobody kicking the ball out of bounds or nothing like that. You're going to get a quality shot down the stretch with Chris Paul.
With CP3 on your team, that even if you miss, like, you're going to get a quality shot to end the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and that's what
he saw it against us, even though it wasn't like anything like, though he made tough shots.
Yeah, but you know, that's what that's what he do. We know that. That's what he do. But yeah, if it coming down to that, you know, that's the way. And that's the way I think that he looking at himself. If he get 44 in this last year, he might want 100, but I don't think nobody gonna give him 100 for 3. They might give him 75.
39 in the end of that contract.
Huh?
He's gonna be 39 in the end of that 3-year contract that he wants.
I know, but I don't think that's and if it's that 3rd year, it gotta be a team option.
Yeah.
It's gotta be that.
It's
even if they put it on the books. A team option, because you know that can go either way.
So,
you know,
what players do you think are staying? Besides the one that are on contract, or like if you think we're making a trade or a superstar trade.
You know, I think Frank got a shot, and you know, Bert, and then maybe Noel's.
I don't know. I think we let Noel go, and we keep one of the wings, and we sign Mitch. And I don't know about Derrick Rose. I'm still confused on Derrick Rose.
Yeah, they say other teams are looking at Rose too. So
yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's gonna be pretty much what he want, but you know, he ain't gonna get. You know, I don't think it's gonna take that much to really just.
I don't want none of them back.
But Rose got to come with a complimentary point guard. You just can't. You can't run him as a starter. You can't do that.
If the Knicks get like a superstar point guard or all-star point guard, they're not bringing Derrick Rose back. So it all depends on, like, if they get this, hypothetically saying, if they get Damian Lillard, they're not bringing Derrick Rose back. So it's all depending on, like, if they get a Dennis Schroeder, could I see Derrick Rose coming? Yes. But I don't see them getting Dennis Schroeder either.
They better not get Dennis Schroeder.
So it all depends.
I like Schroeder.
I don't.
I do. I like Schroeder.
Not for 20 mil especially. I'm good.
Hey, look at here. You know what, man? It's like this here, man. And it's just the gift and the curse, man. Playing with LeBron as a point guard is not good for your health.
Yeah, but it's also he was just missing like horribly.
Yeah, but look, if it's not good for your health, you out of rhythm. It's a lot goes on playing with LeBron. So you can see that you're not comfortable with the ball because you're not having the ball. You damn near become a point guard that's a spot up shooter. And that might not be your game. That may not be even your game, but playing with LeBron, he gonna control the ball, he gonna run the offense, and it works. So, you know, making that move to LA when you went to LA probably was not the move, even though he got traded back there, he signed there.
He was traded there from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he was traded there. Yeah, that was pretty much not a good move for him. Because that set you back. I knew that when he went there. Because I seen other point guards play with LeBron like that in that situation. And you don't prosper with LeBron as the point guard. You don't. You seen why, look, even your boy left. Rondo left. He wasn't fighting to try to get back with LeBron. Nobody did. Look at the guy in Miami. What was his name? Gamble? Soon as LeBron left there, he was out the league.
Wait,
no good things happen with LeBron when you're the point guard on the team. No good things happen.
There's two names that come to my mind just because I'm thinking. I mean, it's still early in the process, but Russell Westbrook is the first name that comes to mind. Everyone's always on Damian Lillard, right? But to me, I think Washington is going to break that up. Personally, I think they are. Because if they trade Bradley Beal, then they're going to trade Russell Westbrook.
Why would you do that and you won like 16 out of your last 19 when you got healthy?
And you still finish under 500 in the play-in tournament.
When you got healthy.
That just shows how bad you were before.
Kev, what part of not healthy do you not understanding?
All of it.
It doesn't. It's the thing about this is this. Like I said, Bradley Beal.
I still think the main thing was Daniel Gafford and them actually winning games like they did, and that was after the trade deadline.
Like I said, I think Bradley Beal is going to be the number one player that people are going to try and get this offseason.
For who?
If Beal goes,
like I said, if Beal goes anywhere,
you know what's
but
happening.
Why are you trading Beal?
It's not if they want to. It's if he's disgruntled. It all depends on if he doesn't want to be there anymore.
Hey man,
Rob win.
As long as he don't come to New York, I'm good.
Who, Bradley Beal?
Yeah.
No, I think Russell Westbrook has a better chance than Bradley Beal.
Where? Someone to New York?
Yeah. I know you don't want no parts of Russell Westbrook.
Before you say that, why would you say Russell Westbrook? To your point, what's your point about Russell Westbrook to New York? Not mine.
I look at it as obviously point guard is still the biggest need. I think he'll be available. He's still unnamed. Like, he's still Russell Westbrook. And it's the funny thing, I was talking to somebody on Twitter. The funny thing is, him averaging a triple-double has gotten so, like, of the norm that he doesn't even, like, how does a guy who averages a triple-double not even get on an all-NBA team? Like, we're so used to him being, like, at a level of greatness that we've taken it for granted.
No, Kev, because he shoots 39% from the field. That's why.
He does not shoot 39% from the field.
Look, what, 40?
He shoots 43% from the field. The same as Damian Lillard.
Now that's interesting.
I'm not called. Look, but Damian Lillard is way more clutch than him. You know what I'm saying? And Westbrook probably outshoots Damian in games by about 150 shots a year.
I don't think he shoots that much as people think that he does, because you got to realize Russell Westbrook has actually, and out to his credit, to Russell Westbrook's credit, he has accepted being Robin. And it's fine in that role.
Not to him.
Too. He was Robin to James Harden and was fine. He was Robin to Bradley Beal and was fine.
He wasn't robbing the Bradley Beal. You can tell when they was playing, he was sunning him the whole time.
I didn't get that at all.
I did. When he passed the ball when he got ready, Russell Westbrook controlled the ball. Bradley Beal didn't.
Yeah, he still averaged like 28 points and made an all NBA team.
You say what?
Yeah, he still averaged and was averaging over 30 for most of the season.
I said that Bradley Beal did get to pull up his shots though, but the traffic was being directed by Russell Westbrook.
Isn't he the point guard? Isn't that what he's supposed to do?
I'm just saying it wasn't like he was playing Robin. That's all I'm saying.
But he was doing his job, and his job got Bradley Beal his first ever. Think about this. Playing with Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal got his first ever All-NBA selection. Is that a coincidence? Maybe.
I mean, he literally averaged 30 last season too, so.
Exactly, and didn't make an All-NBA team. But playing with Russell Westbrook,
that's just because their team got a little better at the 10th seed.
I mean, but think about this. Guess who didn't make it? Devin Booker didn't make an All-NBA team.
I know Jason Tatum and Donovan
didn't make an All-NBA team, but Bradley Beal did. And again, maybe that's conjecture, maybe that's coincidence, but Russell Westbrook still makes players better.
No, he don't.
Russell Westbrook makes a lot of people
the talent. Look,
better.
Bill averaged 25 points most of his career. He don't make him.
This wasn't most of his career.
What?
Last year he averaged more points.
He did what?
Last year, Bradley Beal averaged more points.
So what? Okay, so look, he's trending. His age is trending towards his prime. I'm sorry, I'm not
No,
giving
he didn't
that to
average more
Westbrook.
last year. He averaged more this year.
It sure was this year? Oh, wow.
No, he averaged 30.5. Now he averaged 31.3 this year.
Oh, 0.8.
Yeah, so I'm not giving that to Westbrook.
And it's not just Bradley Beal. Look at everyone else around. If you just look at the superstar, everyone else. Did you know Russell Westbrook led the NBA in assists?
Look, Kev,
he got people better looks.
Russell Westbrook had games where he had 20 assists.
They surrounded him with shooters. They had that dude,
Bertans was trash. They basically just traded him and Bill.
But he can hit an open shot.
He couldn't hit an open shot for a while. He was playing trash.
Well, look, like I said, man, look, they went through a little bit of injuries. I watched them just because Westbrook was on the team. So I kind of I looked at him and I like Uriel. I like Rudy. I like that guy. I like him too. Yeah, so I did watch him, and then they had young players like that center dude that came along. They got better.
Yeah, they traded
at the end. They won, like I said, 16 out of their last 19 games, and now all of a sudden they want to break it up. That's just like us saying we're gonna have a fire sale. It doesn't make sense.
It's not.
I mean, there's not much for us to have a fire sale with, though.
The thing, like I said, Bradley Beal.
We was a fourth. So look, we could say we was a fourth seed, and we could say, okay, well, now we can have a 5. That's just like them winning 16 out of the last 19, and then you're trending in the right direction, and then now all of a sudden you're just gonna blow it up for no reason.
They were still the 8th seed.
No, they were the 10th seed.
Do I have to say this again, Kev?
They made the playoffs as the 8th seed.
Kev, you gonna make me say this again? Kev, you gonna make me say this again?
Say what?
That they were injured when they got healthy.
A lot of teams are injured.
But no,
Can't nobody go through an entire season healthy.
Kev, everybody don't win injured.
So they're bad.
When they was injured, yes, they had second string players playing. Their starters was injured.
How many teams in the league can say they had starters injured?
No, not one, like 3 at one time. They had 3 out at one time.
Who?
They had Bill hurt, Russell was hurt, and Bertrand was hurt. They had 3 starters out at one time.
Nah, they didn't have that at one time.
No, they weren't.
Look, they had 3 starters out at one time. I watched the game and they had 3 starters out.
Were they resting or was it like
how you resting in last place?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out when, because Russell Westbrook played 65 games.
I tell you,
Bradley Beal played 60.
Okay,
so they couldn't have been playing out for more than a handful of games at that, because Russell Westbrook only missed 7.
That's 12. That's 12 right there.
Russell Westbrook makes 7.
You said 60.
Yeah, Bradley Beal. I said Bradley Beal missed 60.
Okay, I said that's
65.
I said that's 12 right there. 12, 7, and then you got this. You got some players that was out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, Denny got injured.
So your main 2 guys played the majority, 95 and 90% of the season.
No, 12%. That's not 95% of the season.
Russell Westbrook played about 95% of the season. He missed 7. Russell Westbrook missed 7 games.
Okay.
He played about 95% of the games.
Look at the rest of it. Look at the 95%.
But I feel you.
It's 90.
I understand what
Kev,
Kev's saying.
don't forget, Kev. You literal, Kev. So get it right.
Okay, so it's about 92% of the games.
It's
Maybe
not
93.
even that. Get it right.
It is. If it's 72, you
Bradley Beal.
I'm talking about Russell Westbrook.
Well, I'm talking about
Bradley. I'm talking about Russell Westbrook, who missed 7 games.
That's Washington.
92%.
Look, Washington team, the Washington basketball team.
They
had injuries.
too? I thought they were still the Wizards.
The Washington basketball team had injuries. Every
team had injuries.
They got healthy. They got healthy near the end of the season. And then
Bradley Beal played the majority of the NBA season.
He's
the
on
vast majority of the NBA season.
It's my point is this here. Russell
Westbrook
better.
played 90% of the games, 90%, and Bradley Beal played 83%. So it's not 90 and 95, but we understand where you're coming from, though. So Russell Westbrook, so Bradley Beal only played 83% of the games, but what Kev is saying that the players played most of the games this season, so you can't blame it all on injuries. I understand where Kev coming from.
No, I'm saying this here, and other players on the team was hurt too. Not only them, he played 7, he lost 12. They had manpower down.
Every team had nobody is 100% healthy during the season. No team
Kev,
is
look at
ever
this
100% healthy.
Hey, Kev, look. We lost how many people we lost Mitch and who else?
Throughout the season, a lot of players were hurt.
No, we lost in our key lineup. Who did we lose?
Alec Burks missed like 20 games by himself.
He doesn't start.
So you're talking about the starters?
Exactly.
I mean, probably Reggie Bullock missed a handful of games.
So we talking about one with so Mitch count as a loss. Mitch counts as a loss.
So the only player that the Wizards lost was their center, Thomas Bryant.
The other players you won't even talk about.
Because they played.
No, Mitch, man, look. Now I'm gonna look. Now I'm gonna look. Okay, no. Now I'm gonna look.
Mitch. As in Mitch.
No. I'm not even doing this with you no more.
Only player
I'm not even doing this with you no more, Kev.
It's Thomas Bryant.
Kev, I am not even doing this with you no more.
Played.
Look.
Thomas Bryant and Denny.
Like, I don't get what you're trying to say. Everybody else played. Nobody missed that many games.
Except for the 2 people he just said.
Who? No. Thomas Bryant is the only player that Washington lost. Everybody else played. The main people for Washington played over 50 games.
Come on, Kev, come on, man. I said they got healthy at the end, so I know they played.
You can't play 57 games and get healthy at the end. It's only 72 games. So the other starters played, let's see, Russell Westbrook played 65 games. Bradley Beal played 60. Rui Hachimura played 57. Davis Bertans played 57. Denny Avila played 54. Raul Nader played 64. Robin Lopez played 71. Like, who missed time? That's what you're getting. You're saying they missed time. They got healthy at the end. No, they all played the majority of the season. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what that. What? That is crazy.
I say run it back. Bring back everybody, and we run it back.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You said to run it back? You're trolling, right?
This is what I'm saying. If you played 57 games and you were hurt in February and you came back in March, does that trend as you're getting healthier as the season go on?
So now you came back and have to get healthier?
Let me talk, Kev. Kev, let me talk.
That is honestly
they were hurt. They had a hurt spell on this team from middle of January going through February. Was they all hurt at the same time? No, they all wasn't hurt at the same time. But through that, they could not get a healthy lineup until they start trending towards the end of the season. That's when they started winning. That's when they won 16 out of their last 19. They was one of the hottest teams in the NBA after us. After we lost, then they were still winning. So what I'm saying is, through the course of the season, with some players playing 57 games, 54 games, 52 games, the reason why it wasn't 72 games or 70 games is because they had injuries.
Okay, so Ross, let me ask you this question.
That's all I was saying.
Let me get this straight. Were they healthy in the playoffs?
They got healthy near the end of the season.
So in the playoffs, they were healthy?
Yes.
And they got trounced by the best team in the East.
Say that again. The best team in the East beat them. Yes.
Yes. So my thing is this. What are you playing for?
They was not good enough to beat Philly.
Okay. Why,
we wasn't good enough to beat Atlanta. What?
If you know that you're not good enough, you know this. Like, you know, hey, they're the best team. We ain't nowhere near them. Why are we doing the same thing over again?
Who says that? Well, so what you're saying, there's no other players out there that they can get?
Not with their salary cap restrictions.
Why not?
No.
Well, there's no trades that they can make with some of the bench players or some of their young players. They can't do nothing.
Clearly, they weren't good enough.
They don't get no draft. They don't get no draft pick or nothing.
So no, they don't, because they traded a draft pick.
Well, so look, so it's nothing that they can't do but run it back.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff they can do. But
okay,
is that going to get them
let
better?
them worry about that.
But the whole thing about it is, I said they're probably going to trade Bradley Beal. You said, no, they can do a lot of other stuff. And it's like, well, they have limited resources.
Look,
they have limited resources to do something.
Hey, look, I say just like this here. In the last 20 games of the season, my chemistry started getting better. It's not at 100% yet, even though it was going into the playoffs. And then now I got a chance to say as a GM, look, let me run this back with everybody healthy and see where we go.
But even when everybody was healthy, they're still getting beat down by the 76ers.
Well, but then that doesn't mean that their chemistry can't get better throughout the course of the year.
Chemistry don't mean nothing when it comes to talent. If you ain't got a talent, they got the greatest chemistry in the world.
Man, look at here. Let me tell you something.
Talent, it doesn't matter.
So you don't know nothing about the
chemistry matters more than talent.
Man, look, no. I'm not telling you. Look, you're not. Look, Kev, you are not. You are not gonna put words in my mouth.
You said no.
I did not say chemistry was. I said chemistry development. They got young players on the team that they can actually get better next year. They can actually get better next year. Going through the experience, they can actually develop into better basketball players. So with that being said, you can take that, you can take the health, and then you can just run it back and see where you land.
Or you can get a haul of picks and other young players for Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook and start over.
Hey, look at here.
It's not like you play in the biggest market. It's not like you are a free agent destination.
You ever heard that song? You ever heard that song, Let's Start Love All Over by Miles J? You remember Miles J?
Vaguely. Wow, where did that come from?
Miles, you don't know Miles J, bro?
No, I know who he is. It's just that's a name that I haven't heard in forever.
Let's Start Love Over, Back to the Way We Were. Forget about him, and I'll forget about her. You remember that?
I'm probably not off the top of my head now.
Basically, starting all over ain't easy, bro. Just because you start all over don't mean it's gonna be perfect the second time around. Speaking of the second time around, you ever heard that song by Shalimar?
I know that song.
Okay, I'm just because you start all over don't mean it's gonna be better the next time.
It does. No, it does not.
A lot of GMs know that. A lot of GMs know that, man. That's why it's if you get two guys that are all stars in your backcourt, and you might try to make it work because a GM's goal is is talent acquisition. You get talent and try to make it work on the court. And this year, what Rob was saying, and Rob was right, the Wizards got killed by COVID protocol at the beginning of the season. Excuse me. And then, so just looking at the box score and say, a team missed this player missed a certain amount of games and all that stuff, which I understand where you come from. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't get the opportunity out the box to develop chemistry like other teams did. And the more they played together, the hotter they got down the stretch. And they wound up being just as hot as the Knicks because they got the opportunity to play with each other late, outside of Thomas Bryant and Denny, who got hurt during the season. But I will say this, though. I agree with Hoodie Kev when Hoodie Kev said run it back with everybody. I think I agree with that.
I said that.
I didn't say that. Who said
I
what?
said that.
I said that. What? That did not come
I
from me.
said that.
Time out. I believe if I was listening correctly, I believe Uncle Freezy said run it back with.
I hope not.
If
I remember correctly.
Hadouken Sharon said it himself.
No, I didn't. I said that's disaster.
He said he wanted to run it back with everybody. Reggie Bullock is starting. Kev,
who's
good?
Oh no, I said run it back. I was saying for Washington to run it back, not us.
Yeah, Freezy is trolling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way anyone should think we should run it back because that's just asking for disaster.
It'll be 2013 all over again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get.
We're not getting any better by running it back while other teams are.
Okay, this is what Uncle Freezy is going to say to that. Oh, you got to believe in the development of R.J. Barrett, and you know that Obi Toppin is going to take the next step, and then quickly at Knox, the young players are going to take the next step. So it's not just we're bringing it back. It's the progression of these younger players. That's why we bring everybody back in complementary roles.
Sound like Fat Albert, bro. You making us sound like Fat Albert, bro. You making me sound like Dumb Donald.
And that's a real thing. And that's a real thing.
What?
They will get better.
I know that's what Uncle Freezy is going to say. That's what he says. Run it back because he's going to believe in the progression.
Hey, look,
and the young players.
Look, you tweak something. You get that point guard. You get that. That's a definite that you got to do something with that point guard situation. Everything else that you can do, if you can do it, you do it. You move it into making something better. But it's no super all-star move that you have to make right now. No, because there's nothing out there.
I want Russell Westbrook.
Macy's is closed. Hey, look, check this out. Macy's is closed this summer. Walmart is open. That means you got to go to Walmart because Macy's is closed. Macy's going to open up in the 2022.
Right, but star chasing is dangerous, bro. Star chasing is dangerous because if you chase a certain star and you don't get them and you miss out on everything else, then now you have nothing. And then the star you chased is gone. Your wallet is full of assets that are looking to perish or rot or expire because you chased her. Like for instance, you chased Damian Lillard, right? And Portland was like, okay, you've been chasing us all summer, right? This is our asking price, and we're not negotiating. You're giving us RJ, Obi, Quickly, Mitch, 2 first-round picks this year, and 2 first-round picks in 2023.
I just want to tell every Knicks fan who's listening or anyone in general to not be like pissed off if we don't get a star this year because that is like we already skipped a step. So if we don't get one this year, it's not the end of the world.
Nah, bro.
No, it is not the end of the world.
Nah, bro. It's star chasing.
Man, stars are
dangerous.
Look,
star chasing is. Can you imagine how many deals you're gonna pass up because you want to chase the big fish? All the medium and small fish, you're gonna pass them up because you want the big fish. And then if the big fish get off the hook, you don't have a big fish, a medium fish, or a small fish.
Right.
I just say this as far as the star chasing goes. Just look at it like this here. Damian Lillard, it's not available. He's under contract in Portland. He is not available, y'all. He is not. Now, Kawhi Leonard is available. Chris Paul is available.
Yeah,
those are available players. But Damian Lillard, it's not available. So get it out your mind.
I wanna touch on this, right? And I want to just say, I just want to say this real quick, right? We talking about a guy like Russ, right? Brody, whatever you want to call him.
He's not available. He's under contract.
At the end of the day, the last time I checked, 99% of Knicks fans said that we need a point guard that can shoot it from the outside at a good clip. Last time I checked, that man cannot shoot it from the outside at a good clip like that. So why are we putting eggs in the basket for him?
Kev just won a name. Kev won a name.
Dude, I have literally gone down the list of all the reasons to go get.
No, he's thought about every single point guard, and then he's like, "Oh, the most realistic one that we can get."
But
the most realistic, and to Rob's point, no one is available until they are available, and we all know that players become available every single year.
Do you want to run it back or not? Do you want
to
run it back or not?
No, I don't. You're trying to take me to an early grave.
So
I'm only 35.
Why you changing midstream, bro? You said you want to run it back. Now you saying you don't want
Nobody
to run it back.
said that.
So,
there's no evidence in that whatsoever.
So you telling me you don't
we
like...
have witnessed, Your Honor, I call Hadouken.
You don't like
Your
Reggie
Honor,
Bullock.
I call Hadouken Sharon to the stand,
You don't like Alex
I'll
Burke.
say this.
You don't like Nerlens Noel.
No. Why would I want
Kev
these
don't
people?
Like his own medicine.
I didn't want them when we had
like
them.
His own medicine.
Alone, bring them back.
See what I'm saying? Kev don't like his own medicine.
What? They're not medicine.
Okay.
We lost 4-1
You'll
to
figure
Atlanta.
it out. It's okay. It's okay. You'll figure it out. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
That medicine is not making me better.
No, yeah, you don't even know what I'm talking about, so it's okay.
That's what I know. These players are not making this team better. We lost 4-1 to the Atlanta Hawks. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result.
It wouldn't be the same thing. Mitch ain't played.
Right, and Kev, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. When you hear people say stuff like that, those are people that are failures. You know what I'm saying? You know what make people successful? Persistence, doing stuff that other people are not willing to do. Sometimes you have to be persistent in life, right? Success is not gonna come lay down in your lap. You have to go get it. And the people that go get it.
And that's why I want to go get Russell Westbrook.
No, I thought you said run it back.
No, stop. No, I did not.
Saying.
Literally, I've said it. No.
Oh, you're feeding into a Kev. Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy.
That's why I said what I said.
I want the former league MVP.
We already have
his name is Derrick Rose. His name is Derrick Rose.
No, there's been more than one. Is Derrick Rose the only MVP ever? No. I want the 2017.
The one that we need.
I want the 2017 NBA MVP, the guy who has averaged a triple-double almost every season the last 4 years, an all-star, a future Hall of Famer. That's who I want.
And who else?
Who's 33 years old.
Kev Star chasing.
It doesn't matter. Look.
You want Westbrook?
If 22, 11, and 11 is a down season, sign me up for that down season in the day of the week.
So we're gonna build a roster right now, right? So you want Westbrook to take the point. Who else?
That's fine. We can go from there. I don't care who else. But I know this.
That's the damn problem.
I know this. I know Russell Westbrook will make the New York Knicks a better team. Okay. And a close to elite Eastern Conference team.
What do you get? What are you trading for him?
We can trade. I will trade nothing but draft picks and get Russell Westbrook. We don't even got to trade a player.
And you think, you gonna sit here and really think that they're gonna take nothing but draft picks?
Yep.
Bro,
Yes,
think
they
a
will.
playoff,
No.
Kev, you think a playoff team is going to trade their
I mean, they're
second
not really
best
a
player?
playoff team. They're a playing team right now.
Well, but they were in the playoffs, right?
They made
They
the
were
post.
the number one seed.
Yeah,
You want
but
to know why? You want to know why they
still a
will?
good
Right.
seed.
You want to know why they will?
No,
Because
let
that
me
takes
finish.
because
Let me finish because I know y'all been. What I'm
no,
saying
go
is,
ahead.
you think the Washington Wizards are going to trade you? You're in the same conference as them. They're going to
Mhm.
trade you their second best player for a bunch of draft picks, so that they
Yes.
can miss the playoffs and rebuild. And your team, with second best player, can face them on a nightly basis and hand them L's.
And not a lottery
When they
pick, the
right
19th and the 20th pick.
right
That is, we, listen, it's more than just.
and
I'll give them. Listen,
Rob. So here's the other thing to that too. The picks you giving them, that were 19 and in that 19, 21 range are gonna now be in that 27, 28, 29 range, because that player is gonna make the team better. So now they're not even getting late 19s picks. They're getting late 20s picks, right? Because of what Kev said about that point guard. Hall of Fame, triple double, make your teammates better.
yep.
He get to New York, he gonna make them better. And now the draft picks that the Knicks gave the Wizards are gonna be like 26 and 27. And you
Yep.
expect the Wizards to rebuild their franchise with the 26 and 27 pick in the draft.
I expect the Washington Wizards to get better because they don't got to carry $44 million in salary cap on this cap.
Oh, but we do.
Yeah, we do. But the Washington Wizards can get dead $44 million off their books.
Why are we picking up that money?
Gone. Just like that. Just like look, like Thanos. Gone.
Look,
No, bro,
why
that
are you
doesn't even
picking up
make any
that money?
sense.
Like Thanos.
Hey, look.
Gone into oblivion.
You wanna
Hey, look.
do you wanna run
$44 million.
Hey, look. Guess what you?
That's why they'll do it.
And we want, and yeah, we
y'all
want to
gonna
be
take
the.
it? Y'all gonna
We
take his
want to be
whole
the
salary?
beneficiaries of that money.
Y'all go ahead.
I don't want to
Here's
give
our
it to him
fax
either.
number. Here's
He's
our
not
fax
worth
number.
$44 million, Kev.
Here's our fax number right here. You go ahead and fax over there so we can go ahead and sign this right now. Hold on, let me send this over to you now. You want to send an email electronically? Let's go ahead and get this deal done. I ain't got to pay him $90 million the next 2 years.
And we don't want to pay him 90 either.
Why wouldn't we? If we get him, then we would.
No, but we don't want him. You the only clown talking that stupid shit. Nobody else want him.
What?
Nobody else want him.
Why can't
he can't shoot
Rob,
from the outside.
How many times do we got to say every time you curse, the monetary value of the show goes down?
I said clown.
No, you know what you said. Thanks for making the show non-profitable tonight, Rob.
Yeah.
Just keep it clean, man. We'll be okay. Just keep
Hey,
it clean,
it's
fellas.
too late now.
Like, you guys act like y'all can't do things without being involved.
Hey, look, come on, man. It ain't that's one slipping of the word the whole show. Calm down.
And that's all
it ain't like it been a fest.
I told
that's all it takes.
Algorithm was one time.
It ain't been a fest now. Calm down.
Rob, it only takes one time. Once you do it one time, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. You just can't own it.
Okay. Well then,
so
I'll tell you what.
Do you want to run it back or what?
No.
Dude, you don't want to run it back. So you feel like the success this team got this year was a fluke?
Yes.
Hey, everybody! G-Man is in the building. What's good?
What's going on, guys?
What's good, Sarge?
What's up? I've been in the back listening to the conversation for quite a bit now, and I guess my question is, just based on what the conversation has migrated to, what is it that you think legit the front office is going to do this year? Legit. I mean, take all the pie in the sky out of the picture, all the what ifs and wishes and all that. What is a legitimate strategy that the front office is going to go into this year and say, in the off season, this is what I want to accomplish, and put us in whatever position we're going in next season?
Play with their draft picks. That's what I think they 100% do.
Meaning that they're going to trade up and try to get into.
I feel
into
like
the
they
lottery?
do something with those draft picks 100%. The one from this year, this
Okay.
draft, I think they're definitely gonna do something with it. Whether it's trade up, which I think we're gonna trade up, or include it in a package for someone. But I don't really think we're getting anyone crazy this offseason.
So by crazy, you mean any star power?
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any stars.
Okay, that's fair. Kev?
I guarantee somebody on this team next year is gonna be making over $30 million. I don't even know who. I'm not even gonna speculate, but somebody on the New York Knicks team is gonna be making over $30 million next year.
Okay.
That I can get. I will put my bottom dollar on it.
Okay.
And I'm not even gonna say who. I'm not gonna speculate who, but it's gonna be somebody.
That's not a superstar player.
What do you mean?
$30 million is not a superstar player.
I didn't say. I said over. As in 30 is the base. Anywhere over that.
30. Look, 30 to 35. You ain't getting a superstar. Put that on your put that in your pipe.
Joel Embiid makes $33 million.
Yeah, he up for contract. He ain't coming.
I'm just saying. You said we're not going to superstar. I said Joel Embiid makes $33 million.
Yeah, and he ain't superstar status yet.
The runner up for MVP.
Say runner up again and not MVP.
He wasn't runner up. He was second in MVP
Oh, so
voting.
what? So what? He didn't get it, did he?
He's okay. So the best player on the best team, the runner up for MVP, an All NBA player,
the best player on the best team,
and multi-time All-Star is not a superstar.
So okay.
He's an all-star player.
So hold on. So let's think about when this contract was signed. Embiid was not the Embiid that we see today when he got that contract, right?
No.
Okay, so that's apples and oranges we talked about right now. So the contract situation, I can see people, this offseason is all about negotiations and who we want and why we want them and how they fit. So back to the original question is, what do you think this roster is going to look like moving next year, and what moves will the front office make to make that happen? Rob, what's your thoughts on that?
They're going to pretty much, they can do two things that going to quiet the critics. You go up there, you get Schroeder. Two is you go and you get DeRozan from to make him the starting small forward. Those are the two things that you can do to make you better. But you don't put long-term contracts on DeRozan. You can still let Bullock go, let Knox play behind him, and you keep it moving.
Okay.
You keep it moving. Not something subtle, something that's gonna make you better than last year, and you keep it moving. You sign Rose back, and then you keep it moving.
Well, I got a quick question. I don't know. I was just searching his name in Basketball Reference. Am I the only one that didn't know he had two eyes in his last name? I swear I have never seen it with two eyes.
Are you just now finding it out?
Yeah, I swear every single Embiid, I thought it was one eye.
Joel Embiid?
Man.
Yeah, I swear I have never seen. I'm so surprised right now.
Yeah, you so late, bro.
Kind of late.
Bro, I did not. But I think I might have seen it a few years ago.
Look,
And then
to
forgot.
tell you the truth, I ain't care one way or the other.
Right.
No, I'm just surprised because I was looking at his stats just now, and I was like, bro, how did I search it wrong?
And his one for Hoodie Cav, and I know he'll love it, right? So Reggie Bullets, right? Reggie Bullets has the name Lock in his last name. Reggie Bullets has the word Lock in his last name.
But he can't lock anyone down.
Defense. Yeah. And guess what else he has for offense? He has the word Bull in his last name. Yeah, man. So this is R&B, Reggie Bullock.
Mr. R&B?
Yeah, man.
Freezy on one tonight. Freezy on one tonight.
Hey.
Freezy trying to, he trying to get it. Okay.
Hey, so on the real, I'm trying to serve a distraction because I know City for real boy, Alfred Payton probably getting his walking papers right now.
Oh,
and so I'm trying to serve a distraction towards another player. Because I know the City for real and Alfred Payton breakup is going to be serious.
Hey,
so
listen,
I'm trying to be a distraction.
He hasn't talked about him in
I don't
so long.
care.
I
don't care. I don't care. I don't care about what anybody says. Okay, y'all just know that yes, I am the one that gave him one of the best nicknames ever, just because it starts with his name. Okay, so yes, I gave it to him, the Elf of Wall Street, and I love it because it's dope and it fits with his name. And nobody likes it, but that's okay. I still like it because I know I gave it to him. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm okay with that. And I will accept it. I will appreciate it. And I will love it because that's what I do. You know?
Are you going to root for him in the Shanghai Sharks?
Probably.
Wow.
Probably. I'll have to think of a. I'll have to think of a name for the Sharks.
Wow. The Shanghai Shark. Wow.
I'll have to call him the.
Bro, we need to somehow get like actual starters on our starting cast, because we had Bullock, who's not really a starter, and then Payton's not a starter.
Noel not really a starter.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm just ignoring that just because we had Mitch injured.
Yeah.
Because I think we bring Mitch 100%.
So legit, this is how I look at this offseason. I don't see us doing anything different than what we did mid-season last year. Meaning that we're not going out here big game. That's not what it's going to be, because the market does not it doesn't provide that type of bounty out there for you to go hunting for. So you end up overspending for someone that could potentially come in and be a bust, right? So Breezy's point, Breezy said this earlier, right? You out here in the middle of the ocean on a boat, and you out here, trying to get that big fin tuna or marlin or whatever you're fishing for, right? But in the midst of doing that, you get a couple groupers that come and hit your line, you snatch them on up. And whatever else is out there, you snatch up, right? So you get something for the efforts that you're putting into, and you may never get that marlin, but you get something to take home with, right? You can eat instead of coming back with nothing, right? There has been nothing in this front office moves that we've made thus far that tells me we're going to go in and mortgage the future for the attainable things just so we have star power on the roster. Nothing about this front office tells me we're going to do that. I see us making microcosm moves to where those second, third tier players that could come in and give us productivity at a certain position. Those are the guys we're going for right now. Then in 2022, to Rob's point, that's when Macy's opens back up, right? Then you can go shopping at Macy's. You still got capital that you can go shopping with. You haven't maxed out your credit cards, so you can still go shopping. You know what I'm saying? So I see us doing that.
Makes sense to me.
That's not going to be a popular take with most Knicks fans, because what they want is what I don't want Knicks fans to do is this. So let me get here real quick, and I ain't been here in a while, so let me get here. So what I don't want Knicks fans to do is get enamored and caught up with this clickbait. So what mainstream media will tell you, they will kind of guide your decision-making process. So they'll float names out there for you, right? They'll give you, Dame Lillard is disgruntled in Portland and he's available. And to Rob's point, no, he's not. He's still under contract. He's not available. So what are we talking about? Why are we even talking about it? Because somebody put his name in the media and they attached his name to the Knicks. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for it.
Nah, Damian Lillard's name is out there because of how he answered in his post game, and just with how the season has.
Now let me ask you a question. Now let's go back over the last.
Hold on, Kev, because I'm old, and if I don't address points right away, I forget my point. So to Hadouken's point, I would say Dame Lillard answered the question the way he answered it, but it's up to us to interpret what those answers mean, and they take those answers.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
I'm saying. That's why people got the idea that he's disgruntled.
Yeah, I'm not going with that. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah.
So you say that people aren't available now. Do people? Let's go back over the recent history. Last couple off seasons. Do players? What's the word I'm looking for? Just unexpectedly become available, force their way out of situations. Does that happen every offseason?
They do, but is there a way for you to predict that?
No, we can't. But what we can predict that it will happen.
We think, because to your point,
recent history has shown.
Hello, what you just said is we can't predict it, but it has happened. So just because it happened last season does not necessarily mean it's going to happen this season.
Not last season, the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that. And
but this could be an anomaly.
It could be an anomaly, or we can consider it to be a norm that somebody, somewhere, and we don't know who on June 16th, someone somewhere could be like, you know what, I don't want to play here. I want to go somewhere else. Okay. And the GM of said team, of said player, is going to be like, well, who has the most capital right now? I can send you to.
So, are you willing to bet your franchise on that? What if?
I'll say this: I will be as prudent.
The question. That's a good question. Are you?
I'm going to answer the question.
Wait. Listen. Not just you, Kev, but everybody. Listen to what the question was. Are you willing to bet the future of your franchise on a chance that happens?
And to answer your question,
and the thing about that, and the unpredictability is, who knows if that person that comes available is even going to be a fit for your franchise? Because what if that player is Anthony Davis? Well, you already have a power forward.
Lord no.
You already have a power forward, right? So it's like, what if that player is Zach LaVine? Well, you already have a shooting guard that is on the same trajectory as Zach LaVine, probably on a faster sharper trajectory than Zach LaVine, right? But are you willing to bank on that to happen?
You're a bear tier. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I will say this. I think Leon Rose has already done that. I think Leon Rose has already set this franchise up to where if that did happen, when it does happen, we are in position to capitalize on it. So I'll say that Leon Rose has already technically mortgaged. He signed a bunch of one-year players so we could have available cap space, draft capital. So technically, he's already done that. We're just waiting to see what happens. And when it happens, we can make the best pitch.
Okay, so I want to make sure I understand what you just said. So you're saying, based on how we position ourselves as a franchise, if there comes an opportunity for a big name, big star out there to become available because they're unhappy with their current situation, then we're in the best position to be able to make an offer for their services to come to the Knicks.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. Suppose it's a player at a position in which we don't have and we have a need for a lot of different positions, but suppose it's a player that we don't have a need for.
Like who?
Let's say,
because the only position you say that cancel out is power forward. I'm sorry, RJ Barrett fans.
Okay, let's say power forward for argument's sake. Let's say the power forward position. So power forwards become available, big names out there. We really don't have a need at the power forward position at this particular time. What are we doing?
If Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available, I'm sorry, Julius.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Julius.
It's kind of obvious though.
Because if you sit here saying you're gonna rock with Julius Randle and Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available,
Giannis is younger.
Okay, so I'm what I'm doing is I'm meeting you halfway here. Let's be realistic here.
You did no. I'm saying superstar at power forward. There's only so many superstar power forwards. Giannis is in that class, so I'm saying Giannis. If Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available because he's tired of Milwaukee, he ain't going nowhere. If he comes available, hey, I'm sorry, Julius.
Do we think
I'm going to go get Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Do we think that's happening though?
You didn't say. Now you're changing the goalposts because
no.
Your original question was if a superstar power forward. The only thing I did was I gave a name.
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair. So let's go back here and say this because we're talking about players that could potentially be disgruntled or unhappy with their current situation.
And could Giannis, if they lose to Brooklyn, could he become disgruntled?
No, because it's gonna be his fault. He the one missing free throws.
I don't believe, and I understand your point, right? I think I give your point credence from this point of view right here. That if there are things that we don't know that may happen a week from now or whatever the case may be. There truly are. There are situations to where, there could be a conversation had in the locker room with a head coach or a GM or whoever that set somebody off the deep end. And all of a sudden now, you know what? Get me out of here. I don't want to be here no more. We don't know when that's going to happen. But to your point, I do believe we have assets and capital, cap space, to be able to bring these guys in. Now, is everyone that's available a good fit for this team? I would argue to say no. But could there potentially be someone out there that could come in and fill a void? Yeah. Anything is possible. But my thing would be this. That is not a strategy that you go into a mindset saying, I'm going to build my franchise based on who may become available because they're disgruntled.
Who's disgruntled?
Right. We don't know what disgruntled, there's a wide variety as to what level of disgruntled is, right? So are you mad because the coach, didn't get you the ball, or you haven't been getting the records of playing time that you feel you deserve, whatever.
Or they didn't let your friends in the locker room.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's levels to this, right? But we don't know what that is. So the coach could pretty much come back and say, hey, listen, there was a misunderstanding in the locker room the other night. We got your peoples. They're good for, post-game access to the locker room, whatever the case may be. So they're good now. No, now I'm no longer disgruntled because you just, I got an incentive that cap, and I just made $500,000 tonight. So I'm no longer upset, right? You cannot build a franchise based on that.
I'm not saying build a franchise. What I'm saying is the New York Knicks are in position to, if a superstar became available, there's teams that aren't in position to make moves, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying we are in position to, if something happened, we can make a move. I'm not saying base the entire offseason on that. All I'm saying is, as Scar said in The Lion King, be prepared.
Okay, I give you that. But the premise to the original question would be, and has been, what would you do, or what do you believe the front office is going to do this offseason to be able to build on the current?
And I believe they're going to go get a superstar. I do believe that wholeheartedly.
So if they don't, you're disappointed because you believe that?
I would be disappointed if one became available and we were in the market and we had a strong case to get said player and they came out as frugal. And they went somewhere, and a said player went somewhere else, and you saw that package, and be like, well, what? All we had to give it was another X, and we would have got said player. I would be upset.
Well,
then,
so for a superstar, you willing to dump your whole team?
I mean, we only got like 7 players on the contract. So
well, you willing to
you
want to dump your whole team? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the draft picks.
I don't care about them draft picks.
All right,
care less about them.
I'm just making it clear to what you're saying, that you will dump anything for an all-star and start from scratch.
superstar. I don't think you're starting from scratch.
Yes, because you just said you'll dump your whole team, so that puts you at scratch.
You know what? If we dump the whole team, that means we'll still have plenty of money to build around said superstar and said other.
So it's yes.
Yeah.
You willing to dump the whole team?
Yeah. I'll dump parts like Emmanuel Quick. If it's Damian Lillard, would I be give up Emmanuel quickly for Damian Lillard? Am I gonna cry at night? No.
What? You're saying what?
If I get Damian Lillard and I got to give it Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin or Kevin Knox or RJ, okay then. Okay.
No.
I have a top player in this league.
Kev, I made it simple as Kev. I made it simple and plain. I said, would you dump? We got 7 players on the team. I said, would you dump your whole team for a superstar?
If you want to be technical, if you want to be technical, Rob, you're not gonna get rid of all 7 players. If you're gonna be technical, you're not getting rid of all of them.
Look, no, you might, because 2 of them might go to another team, a 3-team trade. They want this here to make that work. You can lose Rob, 7 players at one time.
Not about to lose.
So you don't want to answer the question?
No, because that question doesn't make no sense. You're not about to trade every single player on this team for one player.
Here. Look, Kev, I done seen 8 players on the team move, and they didn't have enough to suit up the next night. I done seen that in basketball.
One, Rob, one, you can't do that, actually. You have to have enough players to suit up for a game.
Look, they had 7 players. They had like 6 or 7 players on the bench. I've seen that before. They had to wait on the 3-team trade. They done traded 2 people to other ones, 4 to this place and 1 to another place. They got back some players with contracts.
If that is the case, Rob, the only reason that happened is because you had to trade players that fit under the salary cap of the trade.
That's all I'm asking you, Cap.
But here's the thing about this, Rob. But the thing about that, Rob, is we wouldn't have to do that because we still have $50 million in the salary cap.
Kev, I pull the question back. Hey, G Money.
So, Rob, the point that you're making makes no sense. Because we wouldn't be in that situation in the first place.
G Money, would you trade your whole team for a superstar?
Why would you trade? Oh, you know what? All right, go ahead and just.
I think G-Man first. I don't want G-Money to get
G-Man. All right, yeah,
but it's all good. No, the simple. I am of the mindset of this, right? I am not going to tear down my house and start from scratch because I have a leak in my basement. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my foundation the way that it is, and I'm going to continue to build upon what we got. Now, mind you, to Kev's point, if I can get a perk to go into making that house better, and it's feasible, it's economically sound, it's not going to put me in a poorhouse, I will give it credence and I will look at it, right? But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sell my house that I currently live in, that have been paying mortgage in for the last umpteen years, to move into a neighborhood just for the sake of moving into that neighborhood and tell you I live there, that I can't afford. And it's going to mortgage me in the long run because now I don't get along with my neighbors.
So basically you're saying this. You're not going to sell your house to move into your sister's basement, even though that's family.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right. I understand.
So I believe in this, right? And to Hadouken's point, he brought this up earlier. There are, depending on who you are and who you're talking about, there are levels to how you categorize a player, whether he is an all-star or a superstar, right? And that's what players, agents depend on when they go into these contract negotiations, right? How do you view my guy? What are you willing to give up for my guy, right? So I'm not an executive in the NBA. I'm not an agent. I don't know how agents talk. I don't know none of that lingo, right? But I'm a realist. And I know when I pull my wallet out and I go to pay for something, I know what services or product I'm getting for what I'm paying for. and I'm not going to overpay for something, right? So I think that's where we are right now in this offseason. The front office did not wait until after we got out of the playoffs to start making phone calls about players that could be available this offseason. Those phone calls, those conversations were had during the season. And you know, people call that tampering today, right? They're not going to tell you what happened, but it happened. So they have an idea of who they're going after right now. And those guys are having conversations right now, today. But at the end of the day, and I go back to this is Knicks fans are kind of all over the place with offseason. And it's interesting to watch all the different point of views and how people kind of think about things. I think about it in this way. I have a product. The product was successful. We didn't go as far as we needed to go, as we thought we should go. However, we overachieved based on where we started at the beginning of the season.
So then, if you overachieved, then you did go as far as you thought you would go.
Well, I think mid-season, after the mid-season break, after the All-Star break, there was a course correction. Because then people saw that we were able to win games. We went on that 9-game winning streak. I think that changed a lot of people's opinion of where the Knicks were, and kind of probably, I think, put us in a position to where we kind of overthought it, or let's say our expectations did not meet the talent level of the team. Because let's be honest, throughout the course of the season, the New York Knicks were successful based on, and somebody put it in the chat early, based on hustle and effort is how we won games. It wasn't because of talent. It was because of hustle and effort is how these games were won. So that worked up until we ran up against a team that had talent. So hustle and effort will only get you so far. So at that point, I think the mindset would have been, okay, well, we know these guys can play together and this, that, and the third, but we need to get some talent on the team. But we're not going to go out here and mortgage the farm just to say we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever the case may be. I think we're building something here that's legit. And as long as we stay the course, I think we'll be okay. Kev? Okay, I see you. I see you over there fidgeting. Get you a Pepsi and let's talk about it.
Okay, so I was up with you until you got to the last part, right? And you was like, "Oh, I don't want to sit here and say that I got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I'm building something." You build something to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and then the finals, right? That's right. That's the purpose of the game. That's
what we do. Yeah.
You go into hoping to win a championship.
Correct.
My thing is this. A lot of Knicks fans, and I don't know if it's just trepidation. I don't know if it's fear or if it's I don't even know the emotion. A little bit of me wants to say, and I hate to say this, Knicks fans are afraid of excellence. They don't want to be excellent because they fear it. Like they fear the notion that what if it goes wrong? Right? Like, we've been down this road before, the Carmelo Anthony's, Antonio McDyce's. Like, what if we go out there and we get said player and it goes wrong? And I think that's in the back of almost all Knicks fans, the majority of Knicks fans. Like, what if it goes wrong?
They care that much.
They care because there shouldn't be this debate that you don't want to spend that much. You don't want to get this superstar, that superstar. You don't want to trade backup players. You want to re-sign players that you know for a fact have not that much talent. Like it has to be fear that keeps people in this state of mind that mediocrity is okay. It's safe. It's like mediocrity is like this safety bubble. and they feel all warm and comfortable in this bubble. And as long as they're in this bubble, everything is okay because we were bad, and we were bad for so long, and we don't want to go back to bad. And mediocrity is not a bad place to be. We're okay. We have fun with the whole grit and grinding it out. But we know when we go up against a more talented team, then we know what the outcome is. But hey, we had a good season. We're above 500. Let's just keep this up. It's safe. It makes me feel good. And I implore my Knicks brethren, get out of this bubble and want to strive for more. More. I want more. I need it. I crave it.
So,
all right, let me go. Hey, let me go behind that because see, I done heard that one before. I'm this here. Most Knicks fans.
Hold on. So Delano Steele Jr. just put in the chat. And I want to read this for everybody here. Delano Steele Jr. said, I'm going to admit I was wrong in regards to Nerlens Noel having a better defensive season than Rudy Gobert. Pardon my Knicks bias. I didn't even read that part.
Man, that's not even important. He said that 2 hours ago. Nobody agreed with him. Okay, that wasn't even important.
It was important because I needed it to be said.
Now, what I was saying is this here. See, I got the total opposite opinion on a lot of Knicks fans. See, when they're doing something right, it's like they pass in a shopping store and the new PlayStation is out, but they looking at the PlayStation and it's June. And they mama got to tap them on the head and said, look, we not getting that now. We'll talk about it on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So then you wait up there to Christmas and you get it on Christmas. You're just as happy. I don't see where you got to force anything when you're still growing young players. You might even grow that superstar because you looking at the talent that you have and you good with it. You're saying we got a young base and let's see what they're going to grow to for the first time in Knicks history. Right. Let's not go jump and buy somebody who leg breaks soon as they get here. Now, that's not a fear. It's looking at your team and you're feeling trustworthy of these players that they can go to the next level. The development staff is sitting down with the coaches saying, well, where do you see these players? Well, they're trending in the right direction. Let's keep on pushing the envelope. We might just have something instead of dumping them for something that's already there and that has mileage on it. You're just taking a classic car. You got a brand new Porsche, but you want that old 69 Chevy. For what reason? I don't know. But it's not about spending money. It's spending when it's time to spend money. We all agreed there's nothing out there. Now we want to break into other people's gyms and steal their players and dump our new talent on them. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. When you're building something and you agree with what you're building, you run the cost. You got to just tell some of the fans, shut up and pay your ticket and watch the game. That's what you got to tell some of them because they will break down the door to get something that they think that they will need. And then if it backtrack, oh, management is stupid. They should have added this with that. Then it's a whole nother story that we heard before. That we all heard before. Now, this book right now that we're reading right now with the Knicks, it ain't never been read before. So now the public is antsy. They see some development. They see a player out there. Now they know better than everybody else what's going to make this team better. But yet a year ago, we were trusting these same players. Now they don't know it. Now the ownership don't know what they're talking about because we're not breaking down somebody's door trying to get their player. We know our weaknesses right now that we need to concentrate on is a point guard, if anything else.
Yeah.
That's it. Get that. And if it's not the one that we want, we got 2 draft picks to move up to even try to get the one that we want. But get somebody right there. Now, if Kawhi comes to talk, we're going to fly down there and talk to him. We're not breaking down the door for somebody that's under contract already. That's tampering.
Right.
If you're not happy, come on, go talk to Kawhi. And then maybe we can get you both over here. But until then, we're staying the course. We're only a year in. We 2 years from Porzingis right now. And we right now we done changed. And we're trending in the right direction, but that's not good enough for some people. It's just not. They wanted, and then when it fails, they gonna be the first one who gonna blame somebody. Oh, you shouldn't have got him. You know, this, that, and the third. You know, he was too old. I didn't know he was that old. His best stage was in Portland. You're gonna hear every excuse in the world other than the right one because ain't no one guy gonna win the championship. A superstar or not. You need chemistry. You need players. You need a future.
Did you see Kevin
Because
Durant
if
tonight?
it doesn't work that year, you might have to go back to what you already have and pull something else out. But you got to be able to maneuver and you got to be able to work more than just 1 year.
Oh, like
because it takes more than 1 year to build a championship team.
Does it? Does it really?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure? 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can point out examples where you went from not a good to championship. Let me point it out because I can do it.
What?
I can do it. Be sure.
Who?
I can go on the list.
Who?
The Lakers did it, didn't they? They weren't even in the playoffs. Won championship. The Miami Heat did it.
The Miami Heat didn't do. Look, what the Miami Heat do?
They were a mediocre team. Then they went to the finals the next year.
Hey, look, see, Kev, that's where you're comfortable at, Kev. You're comfortable just getting there. We're comfortable winning it. You're comfortable getting there.
You gotta get there to win it. You gotta get there. You gotta get there to be in a chance to win it.
No, see, that's the
first
difference.
round.
See, that's the difference.
You can't win it losing in the
Hey,
first
look
round.
at here, Kev. That's what's different.
Rob, do you have a better shot?
Look, Kev,
Rob, do you have a better shot of winning it
Kev,
in the finals?
I don't care.
Or
Kev, I don't
round?
care nothing about an Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I didn't say easy. I didn't say easy. I said finals.
I said
got a better
winning it.
shot at winning.
Hey, look at here.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I don't care, Kev. That's what we're different at. Kev, that's what we're different at. Hey, Kev, I don't want the chance.
In the
Kev,
first round.
Hey, look, like with
Ain't
my
nobody guaranteed
what my
to win
boys said in
anything,
Tagadoga
Rob.
Nights.
Hey, hold on.
What he said in Tagadoga Nights.
Whole bunch of yelling.
If you're not first, you're last.
And I want
to. Ain't nobody guaranteed to win anything. No team is guaranteed to win anything.
Hey, look at here. I don't care nothing about that, Kev. I care about winning it. That's
but
it.
You act like it's a guarantee that it's going to happen.
I don't care about going. You're not going to make me say I care about going.
Rob,
I don't.
That's not what I'm saying.
I want to win it.
All I'm saying is that's not guaranteed. All you have to do is put yourself in the best position to win it.
Look at here. Well, look at here. Going to the Eastern Conference Finals is not making yourself better than that team in the West is guaranteeing it. And until we don't do that, you're happy just going along with it. I'm not.
Rob,
I done seen enough Knicks basketball.
You're talking about a final. What me and you are talking about are two different things.
I want a victory, Kev.
you have to be able
Kev,
to put yourself
hey,
in a
look at here.
situation to
That's
be
all.
a champion.
Hey, Kev, but I don't care. Look, I'm not going to be happy
What do
the
you mean
first
you
round.
don't care about?
Kev, listen to me. Maybe you'll get it like this here.
I'm not.
I'm not going to celebrate after a first round win. I ain't going to celebrate it after a second round win.
Rob,
I ain't going to celebrate.
No,
listen to what I'm saying, Kev.
Anything.
No, look, okay. I celebrate championships. That's it.
Rob, I'm not saying we shouldn't. What are you talking about? You're not listening to me, Rob. Like you're hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth.
See, no, you brought up Miami. You brought up Miami and you said, oh, they was in there. I don't care about that. When you brought up the Lakers, you had a point.
What you're confused about is you're thinking I'm talking about last year's Miami team. I'm not talking about last year's Miami team. I'm talking about the Miami when they had LeBron and D-Wade and Chris Bosh.
Well, what about them?
Did they not win championships, Rob?
Did they win the first one? No.
But they got put beat. Together a team. My thing is they still was in a position.
Did they get beat the first year?
Exactly, Rob. So you're making my point. Rob.
I'm not making no look. I
am. Well, Rob, hold on, Rob. When I told you that nothing is guaranteed, right? And then you just came back and said they didn't win the first year because nothing is guaranteed.
Look,
all a team can do is put themselves in position to win. If it happens, great. That's all I'm saying
and my point,
put yourself in the position.
No, what I've been
saying
was this. But look, what I've been saying was this. This is what I've been saying. I heard you, but this is what I'm saying. I don't care nothing about the ride. Get there. I want Knicks to win the championship. You talking about positioning so you can say, okay, yeah, next year that stop. No, I celebrate at the championship. That's all I'm saying. You can do it the way that you want to, and you want to say this here. I know how a team is going to be put in place, and it's going to be slowly done. They didn't win the first one. You talk about, oh, no, I can tell you a team that did it. Oh, Miami. They didn't win the first one. Now, when he went with AD and he put that team together, yep, you had a lot of trials and tribulations with the bubble and a lot of other stuff that was going on that put them in a situation to win it. Okay, they won that one. But that doesn't go on for all the teams. It doesn't. So you got to put the bricks in place, and then you got to get better. Then you got to add. You don't just snatch the first shiny thing out the window. That's all I'm saying.
So I think both of you are legit saying the same thing, just in a different way. It's what I'm hearing. From Rob's standpoint, I hear him saying, let's continue to build based on what the scheme of maneuver is going to be. But to Kev's point, he's saying that, hey, we need to be able to be in the conversation, right? So in order to get in the conversation, you need to have the requisite pieces available to have you in the Eastern Conference Finals or making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, threaten to go to the championship. So you both have valid points.
But we're building that way, but that takes time. Yeah. Kevin want to do it tomorrow, but it takes time.
It does.
What I'm saying is you still need elite talent to do it. You need elite teams. Teams who win championships have elite talent.
Hey, look, a 31-year-old point guard, by the time we get ready, he's going to be 35. Is he going to be elite
Who says
now?
It has to be 35?
Because he's going to be on the downside of his career.
But why does it have to be why does it have to be 4 years from when we get him?
But because no, I didn't say 4 years. You get him now. You get
said,
Dame Lillard
listen
now.
to what you just said. You said a 31. You said a 31-year-old point guard. By the time we win, he can be 35. I said, why you gotta wait 4 years? You said it don't gotta be 4 years.
Look, we gotta have time to put it together because we gotta start all over again.
Who says we had to start all over again?
Because we're gonna have to move the talent that we have now.
Rob, okay. So 3 years ago. 1, 2, 2, 3 years ago. I don't remember. When did the Raptors win the championship? 3 years ago? 2 years ago. 2 or 3. This will be the third season.
3 years ago.
Okay. People think of the Raptors like they traded for Kawhi Leonard, right? Like they traded for Kawhi Leonard and that was it. But people forget they also made trades for Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, right? It wasn't just one move. They made 3 different moves in one offseason, then won a championship.
Okay.
So it's not just one move.
That team was winning 55, 60 games.
But
before
Rob,
they had requisite talent to move.
But they rebuilt the entire team in one offseason.
No. They moved 3 players. You right about that. They moved 3 players. But the players that they moved.
No.
Look.
They brought in. They didn't just. Okay. They didn't move just 3 players.
But look.
They got rid of a lot of players to bring in those 3 players.
Oh no, they didn't. No, not really. Not really. They kept their nucleus. They kept the nucleus. The nucleus was Van Fleet. They kept
Van Fleet was like a undrafted rookie.
No, he wasn't no rookie. He was a second, third year player. He was not a rookie player. He was a second, third year player.
He was an undrafted second year player.
You know what? But he was a good player. I don't care when he came in.
Second year player.
He was 3 years in their system.
2 years in his
3.
second year.
3. He was 3 in their system.
How is he 3 years and he was a second year player?
Look, he was a third year player. I'm saying he was a third year player.
He is not a third year player.
He was a third year player. Now look, they kept their nucleus.
He just got a contract extension this last offseason.
Look.
How is he a third year player when he just got a contract extension last offseason?
Hey, look, let me tell you this. We will agree on this. He was an intricate part of the scoring in that game. He was already seasoned and ready. Third year, second year, okay. Let's argue about that. But at the end of the day, he was a seasoned part of that operation. He wasn't off the bench. He did know what he was doing. You had Siakam. He knew what he was doing. They kept their nucleus together, and then they added to it. I don't care. He was still ready to ball.
From the G League.
He was still ready to ball.
Hey.
He was. What you saying? He wasn't ready to ball?
Check this out. I'm gonna help this conversation along, right? Because what we're talking about right now is essentially how the Raptors formulated a plan to get from whatever their current state was pre-Kawhi draft or pre-Kawhi trade to winning the championship. So let's bring that back full circle to what we're talking about with the New York Knicks right now, right? So whatever their thought process, Jury's, a mythology about how he wanted to organize and orchestrate the roster and turn it over to the head coach, that's the conversation we need to be having right now. And if you go into a comparison basis, I think that is probably the closest that we get to kind of what the New York Knicks are experiencing right now and what this front office is going through. So when we're talking about trading for big names or whatnot, Kawhi is a big name. I'm not going to lie. And word is out there that based on how the season goes, he could be available. To Kev's point, okay, if he's available, we have that conversation. We go in and we say, okay, this is what I know you want, but I'm not going to go over this milestone right here because it's not worth me sacrificing my franchise for. So
it's young players.
So if you meet me here, then we can go ahead and do business. If you don't want to meet me here, guess what? Move on to the next guy. And the Knicks cannot be afraid, and I don't think we are. I don't think the front office is. We cannot be afraid to tell a player no. Just because your name is here and you got all these accolades or whatever the case may be, great. I give you all the kudos in the world for what you've accomplished in the league this season, but guess what? You don't fit right now. You don't fit with what I got going on right now. If you can't get within these parameters right here, and I'm not going to undersell you for your value, you know what I'm saying? I understand what your value is. I understand where you've been. I understand your pedigree. I understand what you could potentially bring to this organization. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sacrifice my children's college future for you being on this team. That's not about to happen. So we have to, as Knicks fans, we have to be able to accept that, right? Get away from all these bright lights and big names. And because I'm telling you right now, this is how I see the New York Knicks winning the championship. And I'm going to be honest with you, right? And I always kind of put things back, and my barometer starts with my New York Giants, right? The Giants won championship as a blue-collar team. There were not a bunch of superstars on that team. There were not a bunch of people that demanded these huge contracts. I think that based on the trajectory of the Knicks right now, that's the path that we're going on. And I know Kev don't want to hear that. Kev wants these big names and bright lights and all that. That's great. You know, that sells tickets and all this, but that don't win you championships.
No, it doesn't. That does win you championships, actually.
Okay,
big names and bright lights actually does win championships.
So big names and bright lights for the New York Knicks have been who?
How many championships Knicks got?
2.
When was that?
Back in the day, way back, before you were born.
Okay,
before you were born. So
let's draw a parallel. The Knicks haven't had big names and bright lights, right? You haven't had that.
Define big names and bright lights, because I will argue with you.
Because you said it. I'm going to jump on. You said you don't win with big names and bright lights. That's what you said.
That's not what I said. What I said was the New York Giants have not won with big names and bright lights. That's what I said.
In the NBA and the National Basketball Association,
okay,
you need big names.
Okay, so give me the big names and bright lights that the Knicks have had and have not been able to win the championship.
We ain't had none. That's why we ain't got none.
So Carmelo is not a big name, bright lights.
He's one. You need more than one.
Okay, so make up my mind. Cause what you said was we haven't had any, and I just brought up Carmelo, and you said it's one.
I said names as in plural.
So let me be clear.
Plural.
So you want both names on the same team at the same time?
In today's NBA, you got to. I don't make the rules. I'm just saying you act like that's not true. Like in today's game, if you don't have more than one star, you're not winning the championship. You know that, G-Man. You know, like I'm making that up. You know that is a fact.
I agree that you have to have talent on your team. Now, whether those are big names or not big names, there has not been an NBA championship won without a superstar. I will give you that. There has not been.
In the last couple of years, about at least 2.
Yeah. There has not been. So I will give you that. But what I will say is this. Before we get to the point where we start talking about championships, then we have to have a foundation. And I think that's where we are right now. I don't think that we're anywhere close to talking about championships at this point. I think where we are right now is we're building a ship. It's like building a plane when you're trying to fly at the same time. It doesn't necessarily work all the time. But at the same time, you have a plan. And you have to be able to stick with the plan regardless of the critics that come for your head to say, hey, you know, I think we should do this and that. Because, you know, good idea fairs are always abound when things are, when people think there's a chance for success. That's when the good idea fairs come out. They're not around when we're losing. They don't want to talk about things like that. So I go back to the original question of where we were. This season, the off season, do you think, and based on the conversations that we've had up until this point, who or what position do you feel is the most critical moving forward?
I mean, that is point guard.
Okay. So who would and I know we talked about Westbrook earlier. So if you can't get a Westbrook, who would be your second choice? So, but while you pondering that, let me. I'm gonna bring it down to a very specific, I guess, pool of players that we talk about. I'm not talking about. I'm only talking about free agents right now. People that are legit free agents right now.
None of them.
You don't want
I
none.
do not want any of the free agent point guards.
So what would you do at our point guard position right now if we're not going after a free agent that's on the market?
You have to trade for one. You have to. If you got to beat down somebody's door, like unless Chris Paul's in too good of a situation. Paul's in too good of a situation for him to leave, in my opinion.
I agree.
We might get him like they in the Western Conference Finals right now.
No.
Their team is still young, up and coming. They have all the requisite parts to be good for a long time.
Yep.
No. And he's close to his family. No.
I agree.
The Knicks have to go and beat down somebody's door. If we got to go wait outside the GM of Portland's house every night, or Washington, and people, and I'm gonna say something that's an unpopular opinion. People think that Kemba Walker is done. I don't think Kemba Walker is nowhere near done. Does he have his injury
history?
History, yes.
He does. Yeah, he does.
But is he done? No.
So what's the difference between Kemba and Derrick Rose?
The difference between Kemba and Derrick Rose is like he's like that used car that you know has had a lot of work done to it. It's got a lot of miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like if I get this car, I'm going to constantly have to put work in it. I can't take no long road trips in it. Kemba Walker is that car. Is like, I see here that the transmission slips a little bit. This can be worked on a little. It's not that bad. I think it's still early in the stages, so I can still got like some miles I can put on it. That's the difference between Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose. Now you can still put miles on Kemba Walker. And like I can probably still put some miles on you. Like Derrick Rose, like, this is not the car I would pick. If I had like a couple cars, like I would not pick that car to go on a road trip on.
Okay. So I think in certain aspects of that analogy, I would agree. So what do you think about both of them on the same team?
It's an interesting thought. I don't know how that would work financially.
Kemba would start. Derrick Rose coming off the bench.
Like I said, I just don't know how that would work financially.
I got you.
Because trading for Kemba Walker, who makes $30 million, and then bringing Derrick Rose in, he's probably going to want anywhere between $10 to $15 million. I just don't know how that would work.
So, I think when people negotiate contracts and we start looking at players, right, we have a tendency, and when fans start looking at players, they immediately go to how can this player get us from where we are right now to a chip, right? That's not come off of that analogy, because that's not where we go. You don't go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. We don't.
Not without LeBron.
No, that's not what we do, right? So
LeBron can go 0 to 100.
Well,
he can take a team 0 to 100.
Previous LeBron, yes. The LeBron prior to this year, yes, I would agree. But at the same time, Kemba has baggage, right? He got a contract out there. He's got injury history out there. So all that has to be negotiated. But at the end of the day, my concern is, what does Kemba bring if we bring him into this organization? How does he make us better? That's my bottom line. Anybody that I'm signing, I want to know how you make this team better, regardless of who's on the roster. What are you bringing to make us better? So we talked about a lot of different players tonight. We talked about a Dennis Schroeder. We talked about we just now mentioned Kemba Walker. We talked about Westbrook. We talked about Lillard. I mean, there's multiple names out there, but I believe in the upcoming season, the personnel that's going to be on this roster we haven't talked about yet because we don't know who they are. They're not going to be these bright light names. They're going to be the second and third tier players that we bring in to get us through to the 2022 season to where we can legit go shopping for. We go big game hunting at that point for those positions that are out there that could get us to where we need to go to start building towards the championship. That's just my belief. What do you think, Kev?
I mean, I would. I guess I'm just in a mindset to where I personally think bold. I think big and bold, right? Because I know the landscape of the NBA.
Yeah.
And the landscape of the NBA says you need stars to win. And you do what you had to do to feel around those stars, right?
Right.
Foundation can be anything. Teams make foundations out of scratch. As long as you have the star players, you can build a foundation out of scratch. And so people keep saying that the foundation is bigger than the stars. And I just feel like, well, no, it's not. That's not how it is. And you said, oh, well, the Knicks don't have it. And how many championships we have? Well, we don't have any because we've tried to build a foundation and got the wrong stars or did whatever. Just threw money at people who weren't stars.
Yeah.
And hope they would be stars.
We did a lot of that.
Instead of if a star is there, if he is there for the taking, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, if he is there, you have to do what you have to do to get that star because that's where it starts. It does not start with the foundation. How many times have we seen teams get stars and just piecemeal a bunch of veterans around them or whatever, and they go win a championship? How many times have we seen that?
We've seen that, but how many times do they repeat?
How old are you, G-Man?
I'm not going to diverge that information on this screen.
I will assume that you were a young lad the last time the Knicks won a championship, right?
I was.
Would you be happy with one?
One what? Championship?
One championship. Would you be happy?
No. I think we should win every year. That's how.
I mean, it's nice, but I'm asking you, if we won one, would you be happy?
You talking about in this era right now?
Because you said how many of them repeated, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these teams are happy with the one.
You know what, Kev? I would tell you this, right? And again,
especially for a team that ain't won a championship since 1973.
You know, and I am not about building a flashy, shiny anything because it's flashy and shiny at that point. I want it to be sustainable. I want us to be able to go through and continue to build on what we got and adjust based on where we are and then continue to be competitive in whatever organization that we're playing. That's where I want us to be. I want us to be a part of the conversation every year. I want people to have to worry about the New York Knicks organization as it pertains to championships. Right now, when people talk about the Knicks, they're like, oh, yeah, they're coming about or whatever the case may be. They're not really in the conversation. We don't really take them serious. We were number 4 seed, and we got ousted by the Hawks first round. So, you know, you're still really not viable in the conversation of talking about championship basketball. I want us to be in the championship basketball conversation. That's what I want. And if we're in a conversation, we have the potential of winning a chip. because we're in the conversation. That means you're in the band of excellence right now, right? So I have the potential. I know I'm gonna make it in the first round, and based on what my organization has done, I'm gonna make it from the first round to the second round, and then we go from there. That's where I need for us to be. All these accolades and all this other crap, I don't care about none of that. Players come and go, but to your point, foundationally, that's where we need to be. And once we get that, I think we'll be okay.
I just don't. Like I said, I think you can put together a foundation and roll with it. Like I said, I ain't seen a championship in my lifetime. I ain't sniffed the finals.
I'll be right back. Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, I haven't sniffed the finals since 1999, right? Like, if you let me see what the chat is saying. Be civilized. It all depends on who that star is. But if it took Kevin Knox to get a superstar, a top 5 player, then hey, that's what I gotta do. I gotta do it. So to me, like I said, it's all about getting the star players involved and then going around there. Like I said, you can get to look at the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets got stars and just sprinkled players around them. That's our foundation. But guess what? We got Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving.
That's
you think they care about a foundation?
That's not foundational, though, Kev. What they did is they went into a supercar dealership, right? And they said, "Give me that Ferrari, I want that Lambo, and I want that Bugatti. I want those 3 right there. Ship them to my house, and we're gonna be great." That's what happened. Yeah. That's not foundational.
And so you want to drive the Ford? You want to drive the Ford, the Subaru?
I would tell you this. I would tell you this. All that is all well and good, right? But when you start getting those service bills on that Bugatti, which costs you $3,500 every time you take it to the shop just to get the oil change, and you start getting those bills for that Lambo and that Ferrari, guess what's going to happen? You're going to exercise them up out your garage because it's costing you too much and it's not giving you any type of return on your investment. That's not foundational. That's not. Look, listen. What that is.
My thing about this: do you want sustained, like?
I want sustained excellence. That's what
Okay, and I'll say this, and I bring them up because they are the perfect example. Look at the Toronto Raptors. For 9 years, they were a playoff team. For 9 years, they were there. They went to conference championships, second round. They were there, and they're like, you know what? This foundation, it ain't working. We need to go get that star. And guess what they did? They won a championship. Mm-hmm. And it's been downhill ever since. But guess what? You think they're happy with that championship in Toronto right now?
They are. I'm sure they are.
But they sold their soul to get it.
They did. And they have not done anything since then.
But it doesn't, but they got it.
They do. And
if they rent it right now, it says 2018-19 world champion.
So the same conversation you're having with me right now is the same conversation someone had in 1977 when the Knicks won their championship in 76 or 73. Same conversation. We haven't done anything since then. We've been mediocre at best since then. A laughing stock. So Toronto is about.
We had to be a 15-year stretch of pretty good basketball. And no, because Toronto. Here's the thing about Toronto, though. This season, I'll say this season, it's kind of an anomaly. A lot of stuff I think them being displaced to Tampa played a big part in their team psyche.
No, go ahead. But go ahead.
I do. I think and personally, like I said, I just think it does. Like if your family and everything is in Toronto, and that's what you're used to. How many fans of the Toronto Raptors are in Tampa?
Zero. I'm gonna tell you that. I live in Tampa. Zero. But I'm gonna tell you this. Let's be real. How many families do you think stayed in Toronto when their people were in Florida? And Florida's an open state. Stop playing with me right now, Kev. Look, listen. I live here. I know what goes on here. So those mansions that are on the Gulf Coast that can't nobody get into right now, because you got those 15 NBA players and their staff and everybody else housing those. I mean, they spending money out there. Come on, stop playing. Stop playing.
This is what I said.
I understand being displaced. I understand being displaced. I do. I've been displaced my entire life. That's what I do. I made my career out of being able to do that. But here we go. You are playing in a better environment than you were playing in Toronto. Let's be honest. First and foremost, you don't have the fan base because nobody in Florida cares about the Toronto Raptors. Legit. So the only people that is coming to the stadium to see you play are your opponent's fans. So when you play the Knicks and Kevin Knox comes to town, to his hometown, then the Amalie Arena is full of Knicks fans at that point. And Toronto ain't getting no love. So I understand. I totally understand the point. But I would tell you this. At the end of the day, Toronto mortgage, and the same thing that Brooklyn's doing right now. They mortgage their future for the chance to win a championship. They got a championship. Okay, great. You are NBA champions, 3 years removed.
But that's what it's about. My thing is, I would rather be an NBA champion 3 years removed than 53 years removed.
Okay. I mean, I just feel like this. I want to be the Celtics. I want to be the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm in the championship conversation every year. That's what I want. I don't want to be a one-hitter quitter. I don't want that. Anybody can do that.
The Celtics and the Lakers aren't even in that category.
I'm talking. Okay.
Here's my thing. No team. Every team goes through ups and downs. There's waves to success.
I agree.
The vaunted Lakers and Celtics have even gone through waves.
I agree.
The NBA is 75 years old, and the Lakers have 17 championships.
Okay.
The Celtics have 17 championships out of 75.
That's
I mean, it's a lot, but it's not like they got like all of them.
Right.
There's been plenty of years that the Celtics have been trash.
They've been bad.
The 90s, the Celtics were awful.
Yes.
And the Lakers. They weren't awful, but they weren't championship pedigree like they were in the 80s, right? The Celtics were just awful. Like after Lynn Bias, it was just like straight downhill.
Yeah, that took a toll.
Until they got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. Right? So the San Antonio Spurs were a model of excellence for 22 years. Before that, what were they? Nothing.
And they didn't win a championship for 22 years. So that's what you want. You want to be the San Antonio Spurs. Based on the championship they started winning. Nobody wanted to be the Spurs before they started winning.
Exactly. I'm saying in that 22-year window, that's what you want. You want to be a championship contender every year. Like the Spurs, you can legit say the Spurs, during the Tim Duncan years, you can legit say the Spurs were a championship contender every year Tim Duncan was there.
I agree.
Every year, they might not have won it, but you can legit say going into the season, who's one of the favorites? They were probably a top 5 favorite to win a championship every year Tim Duncan was there.
Yep.
For 18, 19 years. And then they had Kawhi for like a couple more years.
And then they traded him to Toronto.
So that's what you want. You want to be the San Antonio Spurs. Well, you might not win it, but you're a top 5 contender to win it.
Every year.
Is that what I'm saying? That's what you want. You want to be.
What I want is this. I want us to be in a situation to where we don't have to go through this same exercise every year. that where we are legit questioning a position or two, a person or two every year to make us better. But we have to have a foundation to be able to do that. We cannot hop from if Hoodie Kev is that guy in the NBA that has had the best season this year. He's on the All NBA first team. He's won the MVP. He's this, that, and the third, right? So I got to do everything, and he's a free agent this year. So I'm about to mortgage my future to go get Hoodie Kev. But I get Hoodie Kev, but what does it cost me? That costs me my young core. It costs me whatever foundational pieces I thought that we were going to be able to build upon, but now I have to build upon Hoodie Kev, right? So Hoodie Kev I have Hoodie Kev. He's signed. He's on the team. We go through a whole season and we figure out that, this is not going to be a good fit. So first I got to figure out how to get up from under your contract, because I paid you a whole bunch of money to come here. I paid you a ton of money to come here. So if I want to shift positions and do something different, that's going to cost me a whole bunch of time, energy, and money. And then that set us back that many more years. I don't want to go through that exercise. We've seen what that looks like.
Listen,
I don't want that.
If you get Hoodie Kev on your team, you was in sustained success for years. Okay? And you got a superstar on the level of Hoodie Kev.
I think that if we can get a superstar, and we have never had a superstar on this team.
What is a superstar?
Exactly. A superstar,
like a top 5 player?
A top 5 player in the NBA right now.
I think we have.
Who?
Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
During times in his career, Patrick Ewing was a top 5 NBA player.
I would agree with that assessment. But what he didn't have around him were those key pieces that would offset the talent that he brought to the team. And now we have the same thing we have right now today, right? We have some players out there that they grit and the grime, they go out there and they get it done. The John Starks, the Allen Houstons, and people like that, role players, they go out there and get it done.
Why are we always got these role players?
That's how the team is built. You don't have 5 all-stars on the team. You don't have 5 superstars.
But you're trying to make superstars out of role players.
No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm speaking on their abilities, the way that they're portrayed, that from what they produce. So who are we saying that is an all-star or superstar that's diminished to a role player? Who do you think we're talking about?
Repeat that again.
Who is the all-star or the superstar that you are thinking that I'm diminishing as a role player?
John Starks. I can't say that too loud. Uncle Freezing might come in and get me.
Are you saying? Are you? So I'm calling. So you saying? I'm saying that John Starks is a role player, not a superstar.
He was not a superstar.
I agree.
People look back on John Starks like he was. Uncle Freezing like he was just a great role player. He shouldn't have been drafted, and he was bagging groceries. And look what he did. And all he had was heart. And I'm like, if you gave me Reggie Miller on the 90s teams, Knicks would have won at least 2 championships.
So I will say this, right? And a lot of times what we do as basketball fans, we have we have our own aspect of what history really means, right? So we can read the same book and have a different perspective on what the book actually said that really happened. That's real. I think that, based on where we need to go right now as Knicks fans, is trust what the front office is doing, and support that effort. And to your point, if there's a superstar out there that's going to avail himself to be available to come join the Knicks, first and foremost, your superstardom does not automatically say that, you're going to be a good fit for this team. So that's number one. I need to make sure that you're not going to come in here and disrupt what we're trying to build right now. And I think that's important. We achieved things this year that no one thought that we would do. Now there's some people out there that would say that I predicted 35 wins or whatever. Good for you. You were an optimistic person, and things came to fruition, and great upon whatever you got going on. Nobody saw us being the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Granted, we got ousted in the first round, but guess what? What that tells you is that the methodology that you used to build this roster worked. Those 1 or 2 year deals that we gave out, those proven deals, it worked. So you got a chance to actually figure out what worked and what didn't. It didn't cost you a whole bunch of money. So now you know the adjustments or the tweaks that you need to make this offseason. And it's not blowing up the roster and going out here and running behind all these Tom, Dick, and James out here to get a namesake on your team to say, I got this person and that person plays in the New York Knicks jersey. Because everybody doesn't understand and cannot play under the scrutiny that it is what it means to be a New York Knick. So at the end of the day, I believe in what the front office is doing. I don't believe they will sacrifice our future for what's coming next. And this year, we're going to have to do more of the same. We would do more, I hate to say prove-it deals, but that's where we're going to be at until the 2022 season when free agency actually opens up. And we can legit go out and get that superstar. This year is not going to be that year. And we got to be okay with that.
I hear you. I do.
But
I just think you need that star. And I'm like I brought up Russell Westbrook because I think that he's everything that this team needs. I think that he fits what Tom Thibodeau wants.
Man, y'all still rocking?
Kevin and I are having a telephone conversation right now on camera. That's essentially what we're doing right now.
I'm all right with wrapping up if you want to wrap it up.
Let's do that.
Oh wow, it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, no disrespect, but when people see the long video.
Well, everybody.
So I'm gonna wrap up.
Fun.
I'm gonna wrap up right here.
It's been fun tonight. Come